Oh, hey everybody. Thanks for watching Metal Movies and Brewsky'S Live. I'm your host, Matt Burke, or Bat Merc, and this is the new channel. It's Bat Merc, the Metal Cartoonist. And yeah, man, it's something I've been kicking around for a while. I figured I would just change the name of the show, the live show, to Metal Movies and Brewsky's, and kind of hone it into more of the cartoonist metal side of my psychosis. A lot of the time we're talking about comics and things like that, but I don't know, man. It just kind of figured it kind of represented me a little bit more. So this is the first stream since I've changed that name. I did it last night, but it was something I was kicking around for a while. I figured I would celebrate a little bit. It's the weekend, and Saturday night we're actually ending the week in certain parts. For me, it's 9 o'clock over here, but a lot of the other cats are over across the pond or on the East Coast. And I got this Longhorn right here from it's Texas Longhorn. It's a corn whiskey. Never had it before, but what drew me to it was that it was on sale at Total Wine. It was $13.99. But I've been looking at it over the last couple of weeks or so, a month, and it does have a batch number on it, and it's a smaller batch from what I understand. So that's always a good thing. I think of Bullet Bourbon when they first came out. That was my favorite. Still probably is if I had to pick, but I don't know, man. It just kind of lost a lot of its I don't know, flavor, I guess. Once it started switching over to like the mass appeal, they used to have the single batch number right there on the side of the bottle, like this one. So I don't know. So now I'm trying different things, but I'll go ahead and give this one a try. It's not really my thing, really. I just like usually stuff from Kentucky or Tennessee bourbon. Not really the corn whiskey, but got my little. Well, you can't really see it, but smells okay. I'll give it a shot. They actually have a rye too with single batches. So if you guys are or numbered batches, if you guys are in with the Total Wine, you might well, if it's any good, you might want to try to pick it up. We'll take a gander at it. Let's see how smooth it is. Pretty smooth. I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty smooth. It's that corn whiskey, I remember corn was like the evil word like 10 years ago. Shh, no one talks. This is all the GMOs and stuff. Nobody wanted corn in their meat or anything like that. But man, I love corn. I don't give a fuck. I'm a corn-fed motherfucker. Yeah, the elotes, the popcorn. I don't know. I guess it is pretty bad for you though, especially popcorn. It's like the worst thing you could eat. So yeah, we got the new channel name now. Nothing crazy, just a little switch. I'm also trying to kind of consolidate a lot of my, socials or whatnot, to my name. And there's a million Matt Burks out there, so I figured Bat Merc would be a cool one, Yeah, man. So the Superman trailer dropped this week. I don't know what to think still, It looks pretty cool though. Looks like there's going to be a lot of action in there. I'm actually looking forward to that. There's a lot of characters in there too. That's the thing about Gunn. He puts a lot of characters in his movies. It's like everything's got to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy or a Suicide Squad, So you can see it's littered with Green Lantern and Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific. Not really the team I would have picked. I probably would have put like Batman in there. Maybe, I would have done like Batman, Swamp Thing. Like if we're gonna do that, fuck it, why not? It might even be the last DC movie for a while too. It was kind of a squandered opportunity for him to kind of bring in some cool characters, kind of like they did with the Flash movie. But it's just, don't get me wrong. Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern looks pretty funny, and it looks pretty entertaining. There's that little scene in the trailer where he kind of goes like that, but you see a little like poof of like air come out before it there's a lot of people are losing their shit because it didn't come out of the ring like it wasn't really shown, but I seen it like pretty much the third time I saw the image or the playback. Seen the trailer twice. I don't know. He does seem very emotional. This Superman, kind of whiny. But we'll see. If the movie's good, it's good. Not really feeling the Lex Luthor so far. What I've seen, his voice, there's just something about a high pitched Lex Luthor voice. I'm used to like Clancy Brown delivering it. You know what I mean? It's just like this cool, somber, stoic, calculated Lex Luthor, and we don't get it. The best one we've gotten so far was Michael Rosenbaum. Michael Rosenbaum, you know, he was the best one in my opinion, you know, and I barely even watched Smallville. I was kind of young growing up watching it. My pops watched it all the time, but I wasn't really at that time. I wasn't really into it. Lois and Clark, The Young Adventures of Superman or whatever, that was my jam. I like that show. I like the episode with I remember watching that when I was young with Bizarro. That was cool. And Dean Cain. Dean Cain's the man. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm a little optimistic for the trailer though. It does look like it's going to be a fun movie, you know. I think we've seen Mercy in there chopping up some of the Superman's robots with their saw hands. That looked pretty cool. Also, too, yeah, man, I'm gonna be doing. Well, I actually started to, but I've been doing more like draw streams, kind of like impromptu, like just random ones throughout the week, just for fun. Seems like they're kind of a thing now. A lot of people are like digging them. It seems like, at least people are turning up for some of the ones I'm doing. I'm trying to do something that's kind of focused more to my comic or, you know, fan art or something for indies. It kind of brings more light to my stuff because I want to shill my shit because I'm shameless. And then also the indie community. So if I can, but there might be a May the 4th or a, you know, a May the 6th or a Batman Day in there or something like that where I'm doing something like that. Or I just might want to draw Conan, or maybe I want to draw the Phantom or something. No. That's something I really kind of want to do. There's so many pulp characters I really want to draw, you know. But let's get into some news right now. Let me show you what we got right here. You guys are gonna trip out on this. Let's see here. It's been a crazy week so far though, man. All this news is dropping, all kinds of crazy stuff. Let's see here. Got the new Jason Voorhees right here. I guess because the whoop, we got a little pop-up thing right there. Huh. Let me refresh that. Yeah, these guys are trying to get me. Huh. Okay. Well, let's see here. Yeah. Anyways, they had a new there was something up with that site too, man. It's been kind of acting up lately. What is it? Bloody Disgusting. Yeah, that site's kind of weird. Anyway, they have a new I have it on the thumbnail for the show. They have a new designed Jason Voorhees, and they're kind of trying to line everything up with him, like specifically that way they can kind of use him in different media. Right now, they're not going to be putting him in movies. They're going to be putting him in TV shows. There's a big TV show coming out for Friday the 13th. And they're going to be doing video games. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that site, it's a pretty big site too, Bloody Disgusting. But for some reason, it was acting weird today. So I kind of, yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't want to go on there. But yeah, there's a new Jason design. And he looks like the one from the last remake. I think it was like 2009 or something. And for Jason, if you guys are still here, go check out his book, man. Let me see if I can throw a mod your way, man, so you can have people come check out your book. I haven't seen you for a while, brother. How you doing? Just taking a second, guys. Bear with me. Just kind of the internet's running a little slower today. They got this CGI or AI Cavill as Conan, and I've been saying that on Twitter. It's like first teaser of Conan, and I've been telling people too, man, like that dude would be a perfect like Buscema Conan. And yeah, it looks just like him. Let's see here. Busy. Oh, okay, man. Well, let me give you a wrench, bro. That way you can promote your book, man. There we go. Booyah. Yeah, sussy. All the sites are sussy now, man. You never know what's going on, you know? Everything's crazy. Everyone's trying to pull some shit. Yeah, Karen Voorhees, right? Probably Freddie's mom too, you know. She was also probably the first one. I was gonna say too, Greg Nicotero did the design though. So it just basically looks a lot like Freddy from the last remake, which I think that one's probably my favorite out of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Yes, you have, sir. please go ahead and drop a link to your campaign. And yeah, I think that one with Derek Mears, he went on to later play Swamp Thing in the much underviewed TV show produced by James Wan and directed, I believe, by Lynn Wiseman, if I'm not mistaken, the director and co-creator of Underworld. Yeah, so let's see what else we got, guys. I got some more horror news for you guys. A lot of news, a lot of horror news, and a lot of metal news, man. Yeah. Let's see where it's at. It has to do with the Evil Dead movie, but yeah, I think I actually had it on that site as well. So the site's been yeah, it's been acting kind of sus, so I ended up kind of closing it out. But anyways, the new Evil Dead movie is Evil Dead Burn. So that's the title. And I was going to pull a little more info off that, but Bruce Campbell's not going to be in it. It's going to be a new director. Sam Raimi wants to go with new talent per film to kind of reinvigorate young blood into the franchise, which is okay. I just think they need to kind of stay clear of Ash a little bit. It's weird because the world, the lore, everything that they built for it's so rich. You know, you don't need Ash, but at the same time, Ash is such a cool character and such an icon that you kind of do need him in a way. I've always said that you have to make a character that's cooler than Ash, and that's an impossible feat. That would be the best thing they could do. When they bring in the characters, though, they usually have like the groovy line or "come get some," and it just kind of comes off as cheeseball, you know. So I think they need to just make a new character and bring it in. So I don't know what Evil Dead Burn is going to be about. We did find out in the last movie, and I did like the last Evil Dead Rise. That shit was fucking metal. It was awesome. Oh, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? I got your book. Got a review coming too. So be on the lookout for that. And that book was fucking awesome. And that's the Ace 2. So yeah, he's also Edwin's also got his trade paperback coming, the anthology. So be on the lookout for that, for the Ace. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got Halder. What's up, brother? How you doing there, man? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, man. Doing a little special stream. You know, I changed the name of the channel, Batmerk. Bullshit. Let's see here. The ending of Evil Dead 2 was a epic whiplash. Yeah, man. It's my favorite. It's my favorite franchise. You know, but I'm not gonna lie. When Ash isn't in there, I'm kind of like, we're gonna get a fun ride and a cool lore dump, and they're gonna do a good job. But it just ain't the same without Ash. You know what I mean? I just kind of identify with that character too much, especially with him now that he's older and I'm getting older. It's just and to be, I can't complain. I got the TV show. I would have been happy with maybe like 2 episodes. I got like 30, you know, and it got a little kind of whack on season 3, but it's okay. It's okay. Hey, what up? How you doing, Phil? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to Lobo too. Every time I see Phil, man. I was gonna what was I thinking about doing? I was thinking about doing a getting that Lobo book, the Mind of Lobo, you know, with all the empty pages, and doing a Biztober. Just drawing a Lobo art, you know, for all of October. You'd call it Biztober. Yeah, that was something I was thinking about doing. But I don't know, man. I really want to do the October the Inktober Fest, but it's a lot of work. You gotta be up on your game. You know, you can't fuck around. You know, you have to be throwing down every day. So I don't know if I'm up to the plate for that. And I'm trying to get Hell War done. I'm on page 83 right now. I'm almost done. I'm in the last like 10 pages of the book. So it's the finality. And I wish I was live streaming drawing it while I did it. I think people would have enjoyed it. For all you guys that are artists out there, try to draw your book live stream. If you can sacrifice it without spoiling your book. So if you guys are ever checking that out, because it is like an invaluable way to pick up new people that might or might not like your stuff, but they definitely might find the live stream entertaining. Hey, what up, K-pop? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. I believe we got some metal news for you guys. Got a lot of little metal news for you. There's this band called Cybreed. And they're pretty cool. They broke up in like 2014, but they put a new re-released a new album pretty much with re-recordings, and they did a couple of, or they did a cover of Tears for Fears "Shout" on there, and they had fun doing it. So they decided that they're gonna basically put out a new album. They're gonna start working on new stuff, but they're not gonna be doing really any tours. A lot of these bands are like over in like Scandinavia are so good. A lot of them know, but they don't really. I don't know. They're like undiscovered, so they don't get to really play shows. And it's a pirate lifestyle, man, being on the tour. So I'm looking forward to this, and definitely looking forward to that new that cover of Tears for Fears, because these guys are awesome. I think they're from these guys are from the Netherlands, over by where what David Feed and Dark Side Comics is from. So a little bit of info about those dudes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pentagram, but that guy's been going. He's pretty much a meme now. So if you guys are on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. And that's Bobby Libling, I believe that's his name. This guy right here from Pentagram. Yeah, look at those eyes, right? Yeah, man. Woo. So he's usually standing up on stage. That's the meme, and his hair is blowing in the wind. It's pretty hilarious. But now he's got police escorts, I guess, because he's just gone. You got police escorts surrounding you to get in a van when you leave a gig. It's wild, man. It still is. So here he is. Pentagram vocalist Bobby Libling recently found himself at the center of fame after a TikTok video of him just kind of spacing out on stage went mega viral. Now, in an interview with Altars of Metal, Libling said that the viral fame hasn't done much for the band's bottom line, as the tour dates they were slated had already sold out. Let's see here. Though more insane is the fact that Libling needs a police escort at shows now, as he gets mobbed with people. Libling also notes that he gets stopped everywhere he goes by the most random people. So who knows? Maybe Pentagram is the next household name in doom metal. Yeah, I mean, they're one of the first doom metal bands that helped kind of blow up the genre. The whole thing flipped me out at first. It was pretty weird. I always had this dream of maybe someday I can have a post on Instagram or Facebook and it would go viral. So here he is, man. Yeah, crazy Bobby from Pentagram. I think that's hilarious. And then I got some Metallica news. I call him Dad Talica, Metallica Dad, because a lot of it's like dad metal. You know what I mean? So was Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, a little bit of Motorhead, but yeah, Pentagram. But it's either way in Metallica, they all these bands are fucking metal as fuck. But you got to see yeah, you guys got to see this. Let me show you little Metallica information. Let's see here. So Dad's still running around Motor City. Yeah. Oh, Motor City. That's where my family kind of hails from. Half of them do. Not me though. All right, let's see. Gonna have to make the trek up there one day. Maybe not. So with Metallica, crowd causes a minor earthquake. Metallica show in Virginia. What? That's crazy. This past Wednesday, fans attending Metallica's show at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia, did not play around when it came to enjoying Metallica's set to the fullest. The Virginia Tech Seismological Observatory reported tremors twice during the band's show, with both incidents happening in relation to the band's hit song, Enter Sandman. I mean, that's a pretty awesome song. A lot of people hate on that album because it's commercial, but it's an awesome, like, heavy metal album as far as I'm concerned. And kind of a little rock, too. The observatory, which is located over a mile away from the stadium, published readings that indicated two major spikes. Once during a teased introduction of Enter Sandman, and then again, but a much larger degree when Metallica actually played the song. Yeah, so over 60,000 people were in attendance with the synchronized jump song, which repeatedly caused the tremors. It also helps to include that the fact that the song was the soundtrack to Hokies entrance. The Hokies are Virginia Tech's football team. Oh, okay, so there you go. So when the band played that track at Virginia Tech's own stadium, shit was bound to go bonkers. Oh, okay. Either way, though, man, like it's metal's causing an uproar. And to be fair, it would be Metallica. If it was a band that was going to do it, it would definitely be Metallica. So we got Tim Mawson. What's happening? What's crackening? How you doing, Tim? Tim's over there making his comics. Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, man. I got to get out there and Glen State Comic Con or Jim State. Yeah, most definitely, man. I was thinking about. I got an email today from or this week, sorry, from Long Beach Comic Con. And I went there 2019, I think. I was there with my Butch Cleaver, I think part 1, and I tabled next to Marv Wolfman. Yeah, he was right there, and dude, it was dead in there. It was just cosplayers. I had Edward Scissorhands walking around going like this with the scissors, But towards the end, it was okay. It was drawing and stuff, and even Wolfman left early, man, because it was a drag. It was a drag. But I got some. My buddy got me a Tomb of Dracula, and I got to talk with him a little bit. Got a little picture with them. That was cool. But the tables, they're pretty affordable. They're 300 a table for 2 days, for two chairs. So it's kind of like But they charge you for internet down there. It's just I don't know why. It's a nice convention center too, real nice. But they just don't bring in a crowd. They have the Boy Meets World cast. That's who they have this year. They need more artists. There's really just nobody there. There's a lot of indies, but they need more like Frank Miller or Simon Bisley or something like that. They don't have really any big artists there. You got to bring in the talent, man. Yeah, I bet. See, all like you guys in the Midwest and in actual America, you guys get the fucking cons, man. I wish I lived out there. Yeah, no, they are. You gotta bark, man. You gotta, what is it, stand up the whole time, like Todd McFarlane, not use the bathroom, just use your water bottle. You never know when you might lose a potential customer. I kind of agree with that. I was actually watching that Image documentary on. Dude, there's so many comic book documentaries on Amazon for free right now. They have that the Image documentary pretty much. I forgot what year it was from. Then they have the Mobius documentary on there. They have a really interesting one too with Jack Kirby at War. It just talks about his campaign when he was over at war. It wasn't really about the art. Yeah, I guess they're kind of. I mean, I don't know, but I didn't really want to mess with a lot of them. Some of them are like in the world that they're cosplaying in. So I'm just like, Comic-Con though, or WonderCon, that's where I want to maybe get into in a couple years. I'll have milk jugs strapped to. Oh, okay, yeah, milk jug. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. Speaking of Image, I wanted to show you guys something cool. If you guys were around during the 90s, I'm a big 90s guy. That's my favorite era of comics. I love all eras of comics. I love all types of comics. I love comics. I'm a cartoonist, But with that being said, I grew up in the 90s, and I'm always going to be in the 90s. I got my foot in the 90s, in Image as well. Okay, I was really big into Sam Keith and Todd McFarlane. Those are the big guys. And then a little bit of Del Keown's too, with a few of issues of Pitt, as far as that goes, respectively. I wasn't really focusing on Jim Lee stuff or Mark Silvestri. I didn't find out about Mark Silvestri until it was like later. I always just thought, damn, that's a cool comic. And at the time, I wasn't really able to buy every single issue, canonically, or really thought about it. We just had money every now and then from when we had allowance, and we'd pick up a comic. So, but with that being said, there was this other cat that I learned about later on, like, years later. And his name was Rob Liefeld. And he's got a show that he's had for a long time, I think on Apple. But I never really watched it. But now he's over on YouTube. So I subbed to his channel. And the dude's got stuff to talk about.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to an all-new edition of Robservations. I'm your host, Rob Liefeld.
So I was definitely listening to this guy. Like, this is fun to listen to when you're drawing. You don't have to even look up. You can listen to it. Yeah. Then you find out about Silvestri. Yeah, he was definitely the best in some regards. In some ways, they all brought their own thing though, man. Like I could, like Jim Lee, like he he's really good too. He's just like a perfect balance of everything. Rob Liefeld brought like the action and the the big spectacle, kind of like Michael Bay. Todd McFarlane too. He also brought like Bisman, entrepreneurship to it, and also his style, man. His style is like no other as well. It's really out there. His draftsmanship with panels, they're like no other. Then you got Mark Silvestri. He's like the best artist, like classically trained. So, and then you have like Sam Keith, who was my favorite, at the time, still probably is. It's just like really abstract, highly detailed sections of the page, and really extremely exaggerated. But all these guys were extremely exaggerated. Anyways, point being is check out this guy's channel, man. Let me. I didn't think it was real for the longest time because it's just kind of like it's like Rob, what is it? Rob Liefeld, like I don't know, like 243 or something. But I'm seeing as the channel, like over the last few days, it's getting bigger. He jumped from I subbed and he had like 500 subs, and now he's got like 1,600 subs. So it's got to be him. He's not replying to anybody, but it's got to be him. So it's like, what are you doing, man? Get over here on yeah, he's very cartoonish. Definitely Sam Keith. Go check out his channel, guys. He's just got the he's got the Inside Baseball, fun. It's a fun listen, listen when you're working on your stuff. Probably spelled Liefeld wrong too. Sorry. But definitely was checking that channel out, and he's talking about comics in the Bible right now, and he was just like a big celebrity. He was the kid, I could really break down all the different cool stuff that all the guys did, especially after watching that documentary. You can see that. But Todd, man, he was like my idol when I was growing up. I remember in 10th grade, you had to pick somebody who you kind of wanted to be like, as far as like when you grew up. And I was like, oh, Todd McFarlane, man, he's a comic artist. He's making bank. He's got dope characters. He's making toys. He's a sportsman, kind of like in the same regard as Frank Frazetta. Those guys are playing baseball and doing all kinds of things. A lot of the good artists are like that. They go out and they live life, and they're sportsmen, they're huntsmen. They go after things, and they take big risks, especially him. So I just looked at that guy and I was just like, man, that's the way to do it. And then the way he would draw Spawn and Spider-Man and Venom. I mean, who didn't like Venom? Venom and Sabretooth were really the characters that I liked a lot growing up, as far as like the Marvel but Batman was the big dog. Yes, the Todd father. I met him one time too. He was really nice. I met him at Comic-Con. Me and the wife were there, and man, it was a good year too. And yeah, there was a lot of people I was going to meet, but didn't get to. And one of them, yeah, who was it? Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, I was going to meet that dude. I didn't get a chance to meet him. He's another awesome guy to meet one day, hopefully. But I got something for you guys. We're still talking about comics, and definitely I picked up a book this week, and yeah, man, I don't know. I really didn't know what to expect with it, because I had never really picked up any of the series before, but because of its popularity now, it's like it's huge, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Either way, it's definitely metal. And that would be the Battle Beast, man. The fucking Battle Beast. And I learned about the Battle Beast from watching Invincible. I watched the show. I remember when I got back into comics, like really, because I've always really been into comics, but I was always reading mostly like Cracked and Bad. But I would always, jump in and out. Pick up some Batman, pick up some Sabretooth, Wolverine, what have you. I would get comics from my uncle. He was a big comic book fan. He was really into Iron Man. I remember that he was really into Iron Man, and Hulk. And my pops was into Hulk a lot. But yeah, man, this guy's really cool. And he kind of reminded me of Lobo a little bit of Lobo, but he had that kind of just big white tiger thing that I think going. I think that's really cool. See, Image was Fire, or Image White Spawn and Die Hard and Max. Yeah, the Max toy was so cool. Cable Wolverine, yeah, and I also saw Batman. Let's see here. So was it a spinoff of Invincible? Yeah, it was. And it was really good. I actually did a review of it. Battle Beast is the same champion from the Marvel. He has no equal. Okay, see, and that's the thing about Robert Kirkman. He takes characters and just kind of spins them and makes them entertaining. Kind of rips them off like Liefeld does a little bit, you know. But everybody does that to a certain degree, right? Like with Blood Wolf is like Lobo too, you know. Everybody kind of does it, you know. It's just like, you know, John Carter was around before He-Man, you know, like He-Man's kind of a rip off of John Carter and Thor, you know what I mean? Like everybody's gonna rip somebody a little bit. Like you give me an hour, I'm gonna go and get me a character, I'm gonna go find at least three rips. No problem. Let's see here. Yeah. His face was sad, or his fate was sad. Oh, well, I mean, a tragic fate makes the character immortal, kind of like Rorschach, right? Everyone loves Rorschach. You know, epic. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. Hey, what up, Aldous? Long time no see, brother. How you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah, we're doing a little channel title change now. It's Batmerk, Metal Cartoonist. Long time no see, man. It's good to see you. If you guys haven't checked out Aldous, let me see. He's got an awesome show about comics called The Gutter. If you guys are, you know, into the comics, you guys are going to need to check that out. I don't know if I gave Aldous a wrench. Let me get in there with that real quick. Because that way you can promote your channel, man. Trying to give everybody in comicdom a wrench. But anyways, this book, man, I really dug it. You know, it wasn't nothing new under the sun, but it was a fun book. And I really like the character. He's and he's kind of like Lobo in that way that he goes around, but Lobo's out there, you know, solving bounties. You know what I mean? He's hunting down the bounties. But this guy, he just wants to fight the most powerful entity in the universe, and then he wants to eat it. So I'm like, okay. But he also, unless I read it wrong, he also did something on his planet like Lobo. I don't want to spoil it, but the artwork is just fantastic, and it was the number one selling comic book. Like it sold out before it even went to print, so they already sold out. They're already on like print run number 3. Always good to catch the show when I can, brother. Appreciate the shout. Oh, for sure. And I gave you a wrench too, brother. That way you can drop your link to your show too. You guys go check out The Gutter over on Aldous' channel. Wing Commander. Yeah, I never read the Wing Commander, but I wanted to show you guys some of these badass covers. So they had so many covers, and they had this gimmick cover too. Okay, let me see if it populates. This was my favorite cover. I don't know what I was thinking. This is the David Finch cover, and like David Finch is like doing something. Sorry if it's kind of small. Let me see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. No, it's not really doing anything. Anyways, David Finch is just killing it with these painted covers. He's really doing this like Frazetta Bisley thing, and I'm just loving his painted work. I almost feel like I just want him to paint now, you know. But yeah, that's my favorite cover. I ended up getting the iconic cover because that's really cool too. I love Otley's art, man. That's there's John Boy Myers, another great guy. I remember meeting him. I showed him Butch Cleaver. I was just trying to give him away. He gave me $20. He's like, "No, take it." I'm like, "No, I'm just trying to give them to you guys." I'm like, "All right." He's like, "No, put it towards your company." Great guy. Love John Boy Myers' art. I wish he did. He was a Spawn artist for a while. I wish he did more art. That's a fucking badass cover. This is Arthur Adams cover. Love that too. Look at that one. Look at that force perspective. Look at that foot. Digging that. I mean, these are all killer. No filler. This is the blood bag gimmick I was telling y'all. So the blood bag, that one is this bag that it comes in, and it's just a random comic that's in there. It's one of the ones that I showed you, you know. I would have really liked to have that David Finch one though, with the Virgin one without the trade dress on it. That would have been cool. But I'm just like, so you're telling me it's just a random comic, like one of these with, it could be anyone. Like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. In a way, you'd probably want to just keep it in the bag that was a collector's item if I was going to fuck with it that way. Let's see here. So old school fantasy sci-fi book cover. Love that. Yeah. These were flying off the shelves on Wednesday, but it seemed to die down a bit as the week went on. Heard mixed on the actual book. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I did a little review on it. It's just fun popcorn for me. You know, it's nothing new under the sun. He's on the ship that's basically he murders everybody on the ship. He eats them, and then the AI of the ship tells him, "Do you know? I really loved everybody on the ship. I was starting to basically human with them on a artificial intelligence level as much as I could. They were like family to me. So, but I'm here to do your bidding." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm here to just find the most worthy opponent to battle. I'm the battle beast, And so the AI is like, well, I can't really help you end different, extraterrestrial life, but I can help get revenge for my fallen comrades, in which that I, was the AI intelligence for. So we could work together. I can get you murdered, and you could look for the most, worthy opponent for you to battle beast. And they're like, okay, cool. So that's how they're working together. That's how him and the AI are working together to find the most worthy opponent. So he goes to this one planet, and it's like the first mission, and it's just popcorn, guys. I got the book right here, and it's got a nice, it's got that nice cover, nice and thick too, right? And the yeah, and it's got the I forgot the name of the paper type for the cover, but it's nice and kind of rough a little bit, but smooth. I always forget the name. I use it all the time, but yeah, it's got some cool art. Got the little Frazetta piece right here. Where he's just standing with the shield going down. Sorry about this, but yeah, how did yeah, well they go into his origin a little bit in the book. That was the origin page. Go buy it. It's fucking awesome. John Boy is amazing. He missed my show one time because he got COVID at San Diego Comic-Con and sent me half a shorty book of books to give to people. Oh, okay, that's cool. Let's see here. How did Battle Beast die? He doesn't die. Yeah, and it's very 90s, dude. It's a very 90s kind of character, but fun. It's fun, like the show. You guys like I love the Invincible show. Loved it. It's got little wokeisms in there. Everything's kind of gonna be that way a little bit, but it's killer. Can I spoil? No. I guess I don't know, man. I try to spoil it like 2/3 of the story. I try to keep. Oh, Matt, you're getting 2/3 of the way through it. Fucking close the book up when I'm doing the reviews, And if you guys want to welcome Brian Kriskow to the show, that would be awesome. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
What's going on, man? Well, doing all right. Doing all right.
I seen you last night, right?
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about the Battle Beast. Is that a limited series or is that a one shot?
I think if they're smart, they'll just make it go on forever and just hire the best talent because it's the #1 selling comic of the year. It outsold.
No shit.
It outsold Absolute Batman. It was already sold out.
Damn.
Yeah, because it's huge. The show is huge. You know what I mean?
Oh, it is. It is.
And it's way better than Absolute Batman too. Like Ryan Artley's a way better artist in my opinion than the Nick Dragotta. Nick Dragotta's dope too, but he's just not. No fucking way. I'm sorry. That guy is just on another level. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, Samurais. Yeah. Brian was talking. We were talking about the Samurais over on Brian's channel. I gotta.
Nobody killed Shiro.
I gotta cross some.
Lady Snowblood and Zatoichi. We didn't get into Hanzo the Razor because Hanzo the Razor is a little out there.
It's hard, man.
But maybe next time.
Yeah.
Well, even just like Hanzo the Razor, I can't even tell you what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, remember I was talking about how a lot of those movies they kind of straddle the line between art house and exploitation. Hanzo the Razor is just exploitation. I literally just can't tell you. Literally can't tell you what it's about. Yeah.
Zatoichi's great.
Zatoichi's my boy. Yeah, so for sure.
But yeah, dude, the book's cool. I don't know if I think you'll probably like it. You know what I mean? You like the show. You liked Invincible, so you'd probably like this. I mean, it's kind of Lobo, but what he said in the back of the book, he's saying it's going from sci-fi to sci-fi horror to sci-fi fantasy. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. You know what I mean?
That's great.
That sounds fantastic. So it's going to turn into John Carter basically at the end, and then hopefully it goes into some, Lovecraftian John Carter before that, or Conan-esque. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Except that character, you were saying that he reminded you of Lobo and that he seemed very 90s. To me, he seems like a John Byrne character from the 80s. That's the immediate thing that went through my head was, oh, this dude looks like he could be a member of the Shi'ar Guard.
Yeah, and he was saying, I forgot the name of the character that that Rad was saying in the chat, the commander. This guy called the Commander Bat. One of the guys, Commander Bat.
Reminded me of Gladiator.
He's gonna definitely be doing a Gladiator thing. For me, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I don't like Gladiator stuff in movies or comics or anything. My voice is cracking like I'm 15.
Yeah, but Gladiator has that's just his name.
I mean the trope, an arena with the gladiators fighting it. That shit gets on my nerves. So if it's it's cool for one issue, But when they start milking it, like it's like the second, it's like the body of the work for the arc. I'm like, fucking get out of the arena already. I just get tired of it. Yeah, get him. Oh, like it just, for me, it just gets boring because I already know, you always know what's going to happen.
It gets played out. So
you know that they're going to win and then they're going to fucking overthrow like a regime or a fucking empire. Like just get in there real quick and maybe get your ass beat and then get out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Just do it. Like that's what the new Red Sonja movie is about. Yeah, exactly. That's what the new Red Sonja is going to be about. She's going to be a gladiator, and I'm just like,
oh man,
I love me some gladiator and it's cool and I'll watch it. I'll fucking watch it. But I'm just saying,
the character's not a gladiator.
I want to see new. I want to see new things. Yeah, Gladiator is like one of the best movies of all time. I got to see the new one. It's free right now. It's free on Prime. I don't know. I should tell you something. It's free. No, it's free on Prime. Oh no.
Oh, I see. K-pop was talking about Rashomon. Rashomon's a classic. If you've never seen that, I remember when I was a kid, there was an episode of All in the Family where they based that episode on Rashomon, which is to say there's like an incident where like this black dude that was like I forget what his purpose was in Archie's house, but he helped himself to an apple and created like this whole incident, and he had like a little tiny paring knife that came, like a pocket knife. But then in Archie's version, it was like a giant fucking switchblade.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rashomon's basically about a grape/murder, and all these people basically telling their own version of the story, and even the murder victim gets to tell his story. They summon him like as a ghost, and everybody's story is different. And so by the end of the movie, you don't know what to believe.
Wild.
And it's basically about like the untrustworthiness of human memory.
What? That's wild, man. I got another book too. I wanted to show you guys another campaign, and this is Pizza Medi's campaign. I got it like on the banner down there on the bottom. I've been rocking it for a couple weeks now. He's at 5K right now, just about. And just so you guys know, it's this basically to sum it up, it's a campaign that he's trying to fund equipment to get a printing press, and he's going to print strictly newsprint comics. Okay, so there's this tier right here that I want to recommend that I backed, and that's basically you get a proof print of your comic or whatever you're going to do. You can get this larger one or the smaller one. You know what I mean? I'm going to get probably the larger one, and I'll probably do the book me and Brian are working on, or maybe an art book. And it's a proof, and you're going to get it in with newsprint. Okay, so he needs about 15K to get the machine. And he's going to do small print runs of up to 200, which is a lot. Okay, guys, this is a golden opportunity for you guys that want to do ash cans. Okay, so a lot of people do ash cans, like Joe Sontag and Sean Arendt. They did ash cans for their books, right? And I backed both of them. Okay, I still got to pick up Sean's book. I got Joe's, but I got both their ash cans. Never opened them, but it's a good way to kind of let people know about it. It's a good way to build hype. And I collected. I was like, I ain't even going to open these because I want to get the full one. I'm going to have the collectible, But that's a good way. It's also a good way for you guys to test out your IP. I hate using that word. It's so fucking lame. But it is what it is. But it is an IP.
Content.
Yeah, and the word content, IP, it sounds so soulless. So soulless.
Well, yeah, it is.
So brutal. But it's a good way for you guys to get in there. And it's like it's very affordable. It's about $35, okay? And for a print. And it could be, I also recommend if there's any artists watching, okay, you guys do your one print and just make it an art book. Have a couple of, all your art pieces, just get in there, boom, print it out. That you could do a campaign, a campaign of your art. And that's cool. Art books are dope, man. You put it out on your coffee table or whatnot. Maybe you won't go with Pete the second time. Okay. But maybe the first one, you'll print out a bunch of them that are paper. Okay, and then maybe you'll move on to like a hardcover. But the paper ones, they'll be collectible. Okay, they'll be collectible because that was the first initial run. You see what I'm saying? So he's doing color and he's doing black and white. He's doing the smaller one and the larger one. So we need everybody in the indies, get out here, back this if you can. I think it would really help out. These things. This is the only time this has come around. I've been here since 2016 or something like that. Back in books, trying to support people. Taking and giving as much as I can.
Yep.
You got the $10 one. It's a sample pack. I recommend this one. Also, the one I'm talking right now is the one that I backed. It's limited. so he's not going to do it for everybody, because you can imagine all the people that are doing it's a lot of work for Pete. And then also you got the shirt. I almost got the shirt. I love t-shirts. I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy. I make it real simple. And that one's cool. Comics are better on newsprint. And then, you know, what is it? I like to sniff old comics. I don't know.
I do too.
Yeah, no, and they do have that smell, and like that's the whole thing about Pete's thing is he prints on newsprint, you know. And I love this commission right here. You could get it from Pete. Basically, you can get a random character, or you could get his. He's going to do a random character for you. And the other option would be that you get an alternate character, either King Cryptid or you know, I think the other one is it's personal or alternate comics character only. So you could do something out of Blood Realm. And Pete's, man, I'm like, yeah, Pete's pretty good. You know, I don't really see him draw that much, but over like the last, I think about a year or so, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, he's been fucking killing it on these little cards. His art's just getting better and better. And I know he's been drawing and doing all this shit for like 20 years, 30 years, or whatever the fuck. But he is getting better. He looks like some of his stuff looks like Mark Silvestri drew it. I'm gonna be real. Like, it looks that fucking good.
Yeah.
So get in there and back one of these cards, man, because support the homie. You also have the print voucher. You got the 50, the 75 tier. It just goes up. It just goes up. So I got the link at the top, guys. Check it out. Just go check out the campaign. Check out the videos of how, like, what he prints when he does with the newsprint. It doesn't bow. You know what? Fuck it. Let me just show it real quick. I'm getting there with that.
Oh yeah. Those are looking sweet.
It looks sweet, man.
King Cryptid is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, King Cryptid is one of the best comics in the scene. So is Blood Realm. Very Bolt inspiring. Pete's always talking about like doing the long episodic format. He does 4 floppies a year, which I think is awesome. And he brings in a new team and he writes them all.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I would love to do that, but it's just I can't do it. I would love to do that with Butch Cleaver. I'd fucking love to do that.
Same here. That's always been the dream, man. It's always been the dream for us to be able to put out like books quarterly.
Yeah, I want to do quarterly. I've seen it done. I've seen, you know, and a good example would be the guy that does Headlopper, Andrew McLean. You know, he does kind of a Mignola style. It's like a Headlopper. It's kind of like Mignola mixed with Howard's Conan. But he does the real quick stuff, you know, real quick, and does the flat coloring, and I love flat coloring now too. So I'm like, oh, I'll take a page out of that guy's book someday. But I'm not going to do that. But that's a way to do it. Excuse me. But yeah, Pete's doing that. I love that long format, that slow build of the characters. You end up living with these fuckers. You know, it's like when you're watching someone on TV, you're like, do I want to go live with this chick or this dude for like the whole season, because you're in their life, you're invested. You know, but it's cool. That's cool. It's like that's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not invested, then you just tune out. Then you stop buying the issues or why.
Exactly.
It's storytelling, I think.
Oh, see, yeah, he's getting his pages done. You know.
What up, Tim?
I'm on page like 80 of my book, and then I'm gonna start putting in some word balloons, and I'm gonna give it to Brian so he can get his scissors out and start
some stink on it.
Start fucking it up real quick.
Put my
redraw that. Get rid of that. Draw more of that.
Well, yeah. That's when the back and forth happens. Do you know what I'm saying? That's when we. And you know, and then it's just all about not about fucking ego or dick measuring. It's just about, well, what's the coolest idea? Coolest idea wins.
I call it the artistic flex. I talk about that. In you know what I mean? Like I did a hire an editor video that's coming for the other channel, you know, because I think everybody needs to hire an editor. And I did a hire a writer video, you know,
for sure.
I mean, there's always a lot of us out here that cartoonists that want to write our shit, but at the end of the day, it's like I do, but it's like, do I really? You know, I just want to and I want to do the story, but I want to throw in here's a couple lines for you, Brian, a dialogue that I really like to have them if they're not too fucking cheesy or cringy, you know, or here's a story and but it's like I don't know, man. Artists and writers they're both artists to me, you know. It's like,
well, yeah, I mean, well, of course, and you know, comics is a collaborative medium. I mean, there are some people that are double threats,
Frank Miller,
triple threats. Frank Miller, Matt Wagner. Some people, you know what I mean? But they're Jim Starlin, but they're just they're far and few in between.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. So
I mean, I don't know if you ever saw Steve Niles. Like Steve Niles. His very first thing was in a graphic novel adaptation of I Am Legend.
Really?
Yeah, and I saw it. It was in the bookstores. I think this was around the time that 30 Days of Night came out, and I opened it up and flipped through it, and it was dog shit. The art was absolutely fucking dog shit. But he was trying.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And actually, this is a pretty cool story. He contacted Richard Matheson and said like, could how much are the rights, or can I do this? It was like, okay, I'll let you do that, but you got to pay me. How much you want?
Right.
How much you want? $100.
What?
Because Matheson knew that this was just like some broke kid. So he's like, $100, and it's pretty funny because Niles says that he was still so broke he had to borrow the money he had to borrow the $100 from a friend.
It's like that though, man. Like that's if the artist isn't starving, then the artist isn't hungry, and it's just like a that goes for writers too. We brutalize ourselves in life for our art, and it's a thing. You know what I mean? That we're just it's a
passion.
Problem. It's a problem, passion, and we're just that way, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yep. But, you just it's like an addiction or an obsession.
Yeah,
right?
It's a psychological tick problem in some ways. It'll kill you. It could kill you if you let it. But it is what it is. It's not something I'm gonna stop doing.
I'll tell you one thing, man. It's really only in the last year or two that I really understood what Jack Kirby was saying when he said, "Comics will break your heart, kid." It's now I fucking feel that shit.
Yeah, for sure. They'll definitely break your
right. But that's the thing. We're in it because we love it, right? Lesser beings would just be like, "I'm out of here." It's like, okay, I fucked with that. See ya.
Yeah, I do the I'm out of here for 2 weeks, and I don't tell nobody. I'm out of here in my brain. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do this shit anymore. Fuck this shit. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Too much stress. And I'm like, no, you're not. Shut the fuck up. Get over there. Get back.
Oh yeah. No,
my drawings suck. Who cares? They suck. Fucking draw. Get better. You know what I mean? How are you gonna get better? You're gonna get in there. You gotta draw more. I'm like, okay.
Everybody wants to throw it all away sometimes.
I literally walked to the con from Boise to pass out flyers.
That's badass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's gangster as fuck.
You're not dedicated. You're not wanting it bad enough. It's like you got to suffer for your comics,
Yeah, you do.
I also feel that I got probably 10 IPs I want to do because they're fun, But am I am I willing to sacrifice? Am I willing to is it I got to tell that story that much, are all these, you know what I mean? You have to find, I could do all the world building I want, which I'm going to do for certain things. But after that, okay, all right, I have my fun with the world building, but the story, it has to be told. Do any of the stories of these characters have to be told? And that's always oh man, am I willing to go far to tell the story? Then if I'm no, then it probably doesn't need to be told.
Exactly. I remember asking my fiction writing teacher at university, right? Who was fucking, oh God, Christ, an absolutely dreadful, just a boring writer, but an incredible fucking, seriously, her shit put me to sleep, but she herself was fucking phenomenal. I had a little bit of a crush on her, I have to admit, but that's common, in college. But she was just, she was the one that I remember asking her. It's I've got all these ideas. Which one do I pick? Which one do I write? And she said, "Oh, that's really easy. The ones that haunt you."
Yeah, she's right about that. Right, the ones that are still lingering. Because I always get ideas, and they kind of, if they fall off after about 5 months or something like that, then it's okay. Because I'm always working on, I've been working on Hellware for fucking way too long now, 3 years. But I want to have it 90%.
Oh, that ain't nothing.
before I launch. I thought it was going to take me a year. I did the math, did the hours per week, per day, and I'm like, oh, it didn't work out. You know how life comes in and goes, boom.
Oh yes, yeah.
So you got to add the variables in there too. So
Jesus Christ.
So it really is like whatever time you have, double the time. So if it's going to take you a year, it's going to take you 2 years at least. So, but that's the way we got to do it. And I like what me and Brian do, guys. We're working on a book together, and we're just going to split it 50-50, and we're going to launch a campaign later. He gets 50, I get 50. That way we go. There's a shared vested interest. You know what I mean?
Wait. 50-50? I thought we were talking about 20-80, like 20 you, 80 me.
No, it can't work that way. It's got to be equal.
Oh, God damn it! This is some bullshit. I didn't agree to this.
Man. Yeah. I'm gonna start working on one of those the page tonight too.
Nice.
That's the plan, anyways. If it's not too late or whatever. I was watching Stallone last night.
To it, and so far, it's just been fun seeing what you've been doing with my script, and also the fact that you like I said, it's like when I sit down and write a comic script, my attitude is, like the format is always full script style, but when I give it to you, treat it Marvel style. That is to say, feel free to fuck around, right?
Yeah, that's the way we can kind of have that
back and forth.
Yeah, exactly, and get rid of this and keep that, and trim the fat.
Yeah, and also because pacing is something that's so important. Like that's something that people really, especially these days, do not seem to get. You see it in comics, you especially see it in fucking movies. Holy shit. Pacing is like a lost fucking art.
It's hard, dude, because you gotta keep it moving, but then you also gotta know when to let it breathe,
Yes.
And you also gotta have the peaks and the valleys. It's gotta be a roller coaster, and it's gotta rip your heart out and spit it back and take a bite and spit it back in your face.
Yep.
And that's a hard thing to do.
But it can be done.
I'm trying to learn, That's why I'm grayish green.
Yeah, that's one of my strong spots, right? Because we all have strong spots and weak spots. Pacing is like one of my strong spots. Plotting is one of my weak spots.
Oh, okay.
Right, but that's that's the thing. It's like you try to flex the muscles that you have, and then also build new ones without losing the old ones.
100%. Yeah, you want to jump on, Tim? Sure, brother. Throw a link in the chat.
Yo.
Jump on in, brother. Jump on in. But before we do that, we're gonna hunt down a little kaiju.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm screaming?
Yeah, man.
It's the kaiju of Mount Bandai. It's a cryptid recorded. Yeah. Like the toy or the company.
Like the toy line, man.
Yeah. From Mount Bandai.
Jumped the fucking Bandai booth at the fucking the New York Comic Con 12 years ago.
Hey,
what's up, Tim?
I was the only one in the chat, and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty tired after all that stuff just to promote. Honestly, I was thinking about that walking up, like, I'm really inspired by that book, like Get in the Van. I told you guys, and I know you guys aren't punk guys, but
I'm a punk guy from back in the Disney, dude.
Yeah, okay.
Henry from Black Flag.
But still, that was kind of like an image of what they did to promote themselves and get through,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And here I am. I'm trying to get like an Uber to the convention. Yeah. And for some reason, there's something that wasn't working. So I was like, fuck it, I'm walking. So, and I'm walking there and I'm thinking about all that stuff, the stories about the dead Kennedys and all these bands that, had shitty things happen to them and they had to punch through, or like for instance, did you know Black Flag lost the rights to their name for a while?
Oh yeah.
I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or the Misfits they traded their first label name, Blank Records, for 33 hours of recording time, and they got screwed because they said we like what we hear, we're going to pick up the record.
Damn.
So I'm walking like they really paid their dues. They went through some shit.
Yeah, they did.
And
absolutely it's DIY, dude. That's the thing.
It's one thing to read about it, but then like when you're doing it, it's like wow, this is some tough shit.
It is. It absolutely is.
I walked all the way to the car. I had to take frequent breaks because it was raining. Mm-hmm. So like literally I had like I wasn't even like a full day and I already had stories.
That's awesome. Yeah, but I mean like you're gonna succeed, man, because you have the tenacity and the drive to do it.
Yeah,
a lot of people won't. Half the people won't.
Oh, I know, because I got bills to pay. Well, then you're not really all in this. You're not.
Yeah, everybody's got them. Everybody's got bills to pay. To me, that's like I don't want to hear that. That's like an excuse. You know what I mean? But everybody's.
How far are you willing to push this? Are you just wanting it to be a side hobby, or do you want it to be your career?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's a side. For me, it's a little bit of both. Because it's like because for me, I think that. I mean, obviously, you want it to be your career. That should be the mindset. It will be my career. It will be my career. But the thing is, it takes forever for it to will be my career. You have to have a full-time job, and you gotta
fake it till you make it. I know that one.
You just gotta keep pushing. That's the way it is. And then the industry is so boutique now. And I mean the industry. I don't mean indies. I don't mean crowdfunding, Indiegogo, and Kickstarter and Fund My Comic. I'm talking the whole fucking industry is boutique now. Marvel, DC's, and
that goes to the other question. Like, what are you guys gonna do to push that out of that into others? I mean, you're gonna have to start preaching to the normies too eventually.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to build your audience. You know, you got to really just build up your audience. You know, people now they want to know who you are, and they want to invest in you, and then eventually you'll pick up some comic people along the way too. A lot and comic. I'm sorry, dude, but nerd culture is pop culture now. It's just they don't fucking read. Yes. Everybody watches Marvel.
All into
they
fucking
don't
manga.
Fucking read it. They don't read it, but they watch it. So everybody is a nerd now. Walking in the mall, walking on the stores, it's all fucking nerd and video game shit.
But they're not reading it.
Funko Pops.
Mm-hmm. But me, it's like comic books are my favorite medium, man. I love reading comics more than watching movies, playing video games, reading books. You know, it's just
shit, man.
Love it, and making them, I love that even more. You know. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan, you know, and just make art, connect with people, get out there, and that's the only way really you could do it, you know. As far as I
had my way, I'd like to be able to travel the United States and the world to go to conventions and whatever.
Yeah, I miss doing conventions. I really miss doing conventions. I haven't done a convention since before the Rona.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
you need to get back into that.
I know. Just financially, I can't right now. I got the fucking book to fulfill. I'm just fucking grinding like a motherfucker.
Right.
Put that fucking thing out. I mean, it's finished. I just got to pay for the fucking printing and the shipping and handling now.
Oh, that was another thing I was talking about. Like, sometimes I have ideas like you're talking about haunting you. I had Melvin Zero in my head for 3 years until I finally it just hit me like because I wanted to add it to my Melvin 3 campaign as kind of like a little something to entice people to actually back. Like, hey, you're not just getting one book or the catch-up tiers for 1 and 2, but you're also getting issue 0.
Get a little more thrown in, huh?
Come on. But it just hit me because I just didn't know how to execute it. It's like, okay, I want to do a kind of like I always liked the first Gladiator, and I know that gets brought up a lot, you know, Gladiator, because that guy lost everything, and just you remember that when they got the training swords, and he just kind of dropped it on the ground, and the other one didn't know what to do, so he just kind of looked at him like, "What? You go ahead," and he slaps him across the chest. The guy stumbles, you know, he had lost the will to live, and then he finally gained a new purpose, and his new purpose was, I'm gonna fight my way through the arena and kill that fucking emperor.
You have to. No, that's why it's such a great movie, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I do like the story of regaining purpose after you lost.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I kind of wanted to do that, and I just didn't know how to do it, and it's like, okay, well then, how if it's like if he goes on missions, how are they going to expect him not to run away or disappear, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they inject like a tiny tracking device in a bomb, and if they can't find them, they just blow them up.
There you go.
You know, it just all kind of came to me in this like, what if they had the final test, and the final test wasn't really part of the test at the beginning with, like, so he fights his way he's the last guy standing, right? Because they had too many people that they had found, and like we can only really have a certain amount of mercenaries, so they had a battle royale, right? And then they go, oh yeah, I got one test. You got
Tim.
Internet's been fucking funky.
Yeah, internet's kind of funky right now. I think he's maybe in a hotel or something from the con, but well,
yeah, but my internet was funky yesterday, and just like
mine was earlier too. It just happens, and I know he was saying he was in a rain thing too, but yeah, the kaiju of Mount Bandai. I guess it was in 1781. A number of cases of missing children began to occur in the area. Several prefectures were ordered to investigate, and investigations revealed that a man-eating monster was lurking in Mount Bandai. The monster was 1.4 meters tall, had a 5-meter-long tail, hair all over its body, a huge mouth with fangs, a long nose, a scary ass carrot nose, similar to that of a bird's beak, and a short paddle-like limbs. Several persons fought the monsters, but even they fired at them. The bullets were infected as they were bounced off the surface of the body. Yeah, sometimes they have typos in here because it's crypto. Okay, on 22 July 1782 in Mount Bandai, Matsuma Senpei, a master gunsmith, shot a cannon at the monster and killed it. Hey, it is thought that these stories may have been created by comparing the famine to a monster, as there is a famine in the area at that time. That's pretty cool,
interesting.
Dude, that's a cool comic right there. And for the thumbnail, I plucked this image right here. It's not like I mean, it was from the time. So you have all like the Japanese writing right there, and then you have the monster in there, And I don't know. I think that's a cool monster. It's pretty terrifying looking too, I think that would make an awesome movie with the hero. You could do a lot with that,
The original illustration too, it's like you don't really see it there. I'm just looking it up on fandom.com.
Yeah, with the yellow scroll, like it's a paper,
Yeah, with all the kanji and everything.
That would be a cool, like for me, that would be a cool, like even for Pete's book. Maybe someone wants to do an anthology, right? That'll be a good short story, There's this monster, it's eating the children in the village, but one man could take it, Then you have the gunsmith.
That has always traditionally been the role of the monster.
Back then.
In folklore, the monster is this creature that's out there somewhere, right?
Yes.
And if you leave the village, you leave the city, and you go out and you fuck around in the woods someplace, there might be a monster there that might eat you. And then you look at modern horror, and modern horror, it's like the monster is inside you.
Right. Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that sort of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I actually kind of like that idea. I mean, the idea is that, there's always talking about like how people are good, and, like Martin Luther used to say, man is both sinner and saint at the same time.
Yeah. He is, right? Yeah, we are. We're barbarians, and we're savage things. We get these, urges and whatnot to do things, and you have to have that part of your brain to check yourself,
Of course.
Well, yeah.
We're cavemen with computers. We're cavemen with computers and spaceships and fucking AK-47, all kinds of crazy shit.
We just have processors, dude, or at least artists do. We just process shit. Like there's this thing that like they're doing studies that artists process, but we don't really store memory too much. A lot of us. But I know, I mean, that's not everybody. Yeah. We're taking everything in, processing it, and then we're spitting it out onto a fucking canvas. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not retaining it, and storing it. And for me, that's definitely true.
Well, it's kind of like when they complain about violence in video games and violent entertainment. I'm like, you do know this is what we are, right? Yeah. Human beings are we're hardwired to be violent.
Yeah. Like Metal, they just study with that, even on like the Metal documentary, the 10-hour one with Sean Dunn or whatever from VH1 back in the day. Highly recommend Metal. I think Metal, forgot the name of it. Right. But anyway, huge one. And they were talking about what Metal, how people listen to it, it calms them down. You know what I mean? Because it's just, you can't really compete with it. It's more soothing. You know what I mean? It's a relaxer. It's a decompressor, stress reliever.
I know, which is crazy. It's like with horror, right? Metal and horror. When you explain that you find those things very, very relaxing to normies, it blows their fucking minds.
I always found it interesting the psychology of horror, where it kind of what makes it scary is it represents what people are naturally afraid of to begin with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like
yeah.
What I heard is that like zombie movies are always like they call that when they're an enemy force is trying to break into a fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, it's also
like the plague, right? That's like the bubonic plague or the black plague, if you think about it, right?
It's really more actually. Well, it depends. It's like there's the voodoo zombie, and then there's the George Romero zombie. The George Romero zombie is fear of the mob. It's the fear of
the outside force trying to break in and destroy you. Yeah,
the plague, that's
another one.
Well,
no,
like
another clan or another tribe or another kingdom. You know.
Clive Barker said that basically that zombies are the liberal nightmare. That like they're in the masses whom you'd love to love, but then they're trying to fucking break your door down and fucking eat your face off.
Exactly. Clive Barker, man.
And they didn't
I got to do that Candyman piece. I always think about that. I wish they would do something with Nightbreed. That movie was so cool. I got to watch that.
I
again.
actually kind of like that one.
Oh, I really like it. Clive Barker's X-Men. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clive Barker's X-Men. And ever since I watched that, I was like, man, because that and the Cemetery Man, it was like, okay, because Butch Cleaver, I had a whole city.
Wait, was Cemetery Man one graveyard?
You know, no, it wasn't, but they both take place in a graveyard. You know, it's like a you know, a necropolis, but just a straight up graveyard. And I had done that with Butch Cleaver. I was going to have him go in these different areas of the world, or at least in the you know, the county. But there was going to be a massive like town in the graveyard, and I had not even seen either of these two movies. And so once I seen these two movies, Brian recommended. You know, I'd always seen Nightmare or Night Shift at the video store at Blockbuster, but I never fucked with it. I think it was too young.
Which is good.
I think I did.
You would have seen the fucked up raped version. You wouldn't have seen.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing about Nightbreed is that it's a lost film that was rediscovered.
Yes.
Because the version that was released in theaters was dog shit. Dog shit.
Right.
And I remember watching it, being in the theater. And it was one of those movies, it's like I could tell, and I felt it in my gut. It was just obvious that it was the victim of post-production fuckery. That someone had gone in and taken a 2-hour movie and cut it down to like 90 minutes.
How did you feel about Lord of Illusions?
I thought it was entertaining.
Loved it. Underrated.
You know?
Yeah, I know. I loved it too. I loved the horror and noir. And I'm not really big on noir.
A little bit,
That was
the detective.
Yeah, it's a detective
that was
story.
Yeah, I love that.
That was good. I mean, I like that one, but
I love it with you know, like the supernatural detective genre, the subgenre of noir.
Oh yeah,
however you want to call it.
John Silence is like the first character that was created in that genre. I think by I want to say Arthur Machen. I could be wrong about
like the
that.
20s or something.
Yeah,
20s. Then like I know Howard has a couple like Kierman and Conrad. There's like a double detective team. They're actually they put them in the new comics because they're expanding the Howard verse.
I saw that.
They're cool characters, you know.
I'm very reluctant on mysteries. I'm very reluctant on mysteries because unfortunately, my family they like those really boring British broadcast, the BBC mysteries where it's all talking and nothing, no action really.
Oh, okay.
And you really wish you could just slit your wrist instead of being forced to watch that.
Well, I mean, look, there's some of them that suck. Like I really hate like the Agatha Christie kind where they're like, "Ooh, it's a murder."
Oh my!
Right? Where whereas like the Sherlock Holmes stories, those can get pretty fucking raw.
Yeah.
And
well, there is one thing about that actor that played the Sherlock Holmes, a really well-known one. He suffered from depression, and he used that in his portrayal of Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to, man. Like whatever
that's amazing.
Some people have like they have like maybe bipolar or something like that guy Reacher, that actor. He's a bipolar guy. He uses that. Yeah, and so is David Harbour. That. David Harbour's bipolar, but you use it. He's like, David Harbour was funny though. It was like right after he did that Hellboy movie, and then he kind of was like doing a bunch of movies. He's still, he's doing. He had like he lost a lot of weight, and then he was he had like a blonde ponytail and shit. It was funny. They went to his house. It was like an MTV Cribs thing on YouTube though, like style shit.
Yeah.
His nice like posh apartment in Manhattan. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm bipolar. Haha, bitches. Like I'm making money now though. You gotta hire me. Same thing with Reacher, though. You know, and like you just have to use it. You got to use that fire in the
for sure.
Nobody's perfect. Everybody's got problems.
Yeah. And you know what? When people like that, the stigma over it is so serious that when people like that come out, it actually does make a huge difference.
Yeah. Damn, the fucking He-Man, like.
But those BBC mysteries, I can't stand them. I thought
you were gonna say Unsolved Mysteries. That shit.
It can be pretty boring.
Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries is scary, dude. For me, I ain't gonna lie.
Unsolved Mysteries are interesting. I'm talking about the British mysteries, like
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Or like Luther was a great like a modern BBC mystery series.
Brown.
That was like
I wanted to watch that. I never did.
Manhunter the series.
Oh, okay.
Like if you like Manhunter,
yeah,
you know the first cinematic version of like Michael Mann's adaptation of the novel Red Dragon.
I gotta go back and rewatch that.
Luther is that like as a series with Idris Elba. I
gotta watch The Keep too. But
The Keep,
Manhunter, I gotta go back and rewatch that. I actually really liked Red Dragon at the time. I know it's Brett Ratner, but
I still haven't seen
Drake's becoming.
But you got Harvey Keitel. It was good. Ray Fiennes was good in there. I mean, it's all-star cast. Danny Elfman did the score for it, but Brett Ratner, you know, he's just kind of, I don't know. And I liked all those movies though. And everyone's telling me like, nah, dude, Mads is the best Hannibal out of all of it. That shows.
Oh yeah, he is.
I got to go back and rewatch Hannibal because at the time I was like, I jumped in and out. You know,
it gets woke.
Dark Shadows was shite. Yeah, Brian, you gonna answer that?
What? Well, that depends. Are you talking about the Tim Burton Dark Shadows, or are you talking about the Dark Shadows TV series, which was the shit?
Well, you know, I did like one joke out of that whole Tim Burton version. They tried.
I haven't seen it.
No, they tried that in the Dark Ages, but it didn't work.
I got a kick out of the movie, but a TV show I kind of tried to watch it, but it was a little too slow for me, so I had to put it off.
Dude.
However, you know,
dude, here's the thing. This is how Dark Shadows works. It works the same way that every soap opera works, which is you have one episode about 25 minutes of story. Yeah. And you stretch it across an entire week.
Yeah. Like I'm going to the bathroom, then I'm going to grab a coffee.
Not the bathroom that I just cleaned.
And answer the door. I'll be back in 20 minutes. It's like, okay.
Yeah, if you want like the Dark Shadow story, like the first 3 seasons are pretty much like when Dan Curtis did the Dark Shadows movie. He basically took the first 3 seasons and put them in like a 90-minute movie, and it worked beautifully.
That's cool. I mean, I dig the character, like the whole Barnabas Collins and the family, and I like that shit. The whole gothic, New England, New England thing.
It's fun.
It's fun as a movie. Maybe like, and the Burton movie was cool, but it was I don't know.
Seen it. I refuse. I refuse.
It's kooky. You know what I mean? Like
once I found out it was a comedy, once I found out it was a spoof, I was just like, fuck that. Because here's the thing about Dark Shadows: the appeal of Dark Shadows is that it's goofy, but it knows that it's goofy, but it still plays it poker faced. So, right? Which is like a concept I think somebody like Tim Burton probably couldn't grasp, I guess. I don't know.
I got this Infantile Chronicles, I believe it's launching on Friday. And this is we're gonna have him on the channel next Saturday.
Nice.
This is the sign up page, guys. Let's check out the trailer.
Fushizi.
Knowledge is like a seed. When sown in fertile minds, it opens doors to new possibilities. Truth, once buried by the ages, is again revealed. The unimaginable becomes demystified. New wonders are discovered that transcend the limitations of previous understanding. However, some doors should never be opened. Our tale continues with the divergent paths of our heroes. As a naive king toils with ancient powers beyond his control, a grieving queen makes a fateful decision that forever changes their world.
Alternate art edition.
Infinito Chronicles, the War of the Trees.
Is that like it's like that when you get a film and it's like a different cut?
I don't know.
So, we'll have him on next week. He'll talk about it. But this is the second book, and yeah, man, he's got a lot of really cool packages coming out. Same thing with like the first campaign. His book's also like available on Amazon right now. If you go on there, the first book's on there. So definitely cool. It's got
trees, huh?
Yeah, it's got elves in it, and it's awesome. So yeah, go ahead and sign up, guys. I put the link in the chat. He's going to be launching on Bancrofts on Friday. So if you guys plan on backing, please back the day of.
Yeah, man.
Will you do a crossover?
Backing is essential, man. Like if obviously myself included, not everybody could back day one, but if you are going to back and you can back day one, always back on the first day. That's the most imperative time. I don't care how big or small of a creator you are. It really, really helps. It's an invaluable help to back on the first day, because that explosion, man, humans just see that and they're like, oh, okay, I got to get in there. I got to get in there. That's a good thing. Exactly. Oh, everybody's going to back that. Oh. It doesn't matter. It just helps, dude. It looks so good when the campaign explodes.
And it's like stupid that it's like that, but it's just like that.
It's like that. It's never going to change.
You know what sucks about that though?
What's that?
You get first few days you get bam, all these people back, and then it slows down a little bit. You're like, no, don't stop.
No, it's going to slow down entirely. The first 2 days are huge, but then it dips, and halfway in the middle, boom, and the very end, boom, you get another third. I mean,
that's that dopamine hit, and then it stops. You're like, no.
But you have to show up on the first day if you got the funds. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show up on first day for this, but I'm going to try. You know what I mean? And I did that with Pete's, and then I did that with the Band of the Crow. You know, and Band of the Crow's doing a great job now. They had a massive Monday for us. And I think they did like 4 or 5K on the first day. And deservingly so. I mean, and this is another book that looks great like that, a good fantasy book, you know. And I'm all about like fantasy and sword and sorcery. I think it's awesome. That's kind of my jam, you know. And but if you guys can try to show up on day one and back it, it's going to be on Bancroft's channel. He's going to be launching it up there in this book too. This guy, he don't fuck around either. I think the book's going to be done, or at least it's going to mail within the year. Excuse me, within this year. So. And his first, like Tim here on the show, you can pick up his Melvin books as well. And
Melvin.
We'll show a little bit of
on Amazon,
So if you want, maybe get your links ready, and we'll show a little bit of Melvin tonight too, if you want, brother.
Totally.
I got a little bit of I'm gonna do a little metal break right now. This is one of the Cybreed songs I was talking about earlier. Cybreed just put out a re-release of their old material. And the band broke up 2014. I actually, my homies told me about him a while ago. When I first heard him, I was just like, I'm not really feeling it. But this was probably like eight years ago when they're, I don't know. But later, then I give them a second listen. I'm like, these guys are fucking awesome. What was I thinking? You know? Anyway, they did a cover for Tears for Fears. And this is a Shout by Cybreed. These guys hail from the Netherlands.
Other guys kind of just worked at their dad's machine shop. You know, Metallica found it was mostly just Cliff Burton.
Yup, he was the guy that was into the Misfits. He was the guy that was into Lovecraft. He was the guy that was into all the cool dope shit. So when he was gone, that was the end for Metallica as far as I'm concerned.
He died the worst way possible. I mean, like he flung out the window and the bus rolls on you. That's a fucked up way to die.
That's the worst shit ever, dude.
It's not the worst way to die. I can think of like a billion ways that are worse.
Well, I mean, 30 ways to die
is pretty horrible.
All right,
10,000 ways to die.
First the glasses, you get cut out by the glass. Then you hit the ground. Ouch! And then a huge bus rolls on you.
But he was probably asleep. I mean, he probably woke up just as the bus was fucking coming down on him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Go check out Cybreed, guys. I mean, that band's pretty dope. If you're into that type of metal, you know, definitely like early 2000s to like 2010. Era.
There was a band on the.
They're fucking heavy too, bro. Like they got all kinds of stuff, and obviously they got some of the like industrial stuff in there, like the electronica stuff, but they do it all live. They have a drummer and a guitar player, and it's fucking.
What was that band that was on the Heavy Metal 2000 soundtrack?
Oh, that's right. Heavy Metal 2000, the Fact 2, right?
Yeah, I mean the movie was okay, but the soundtrack was better.
Yeah, no, I mean I wished it had been an anthology. I mean, to me, it just didn't feel like a heavy metal movie just because it wasn't an anthology.
Yeah, I think that threw a lot of people off.
Yeah, for sure. And new season of Love, Death, and Robots is out now on the Netflix, which was, of course, which is basically Heavy Metal the series. It's just
really,
David Fincher
Zilch.
To do
the band was called the band was called Zilch.
Zilch, never heard them.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're that well known, but that song kind of reminded me of that.
Like for me, like I don't know, I kind of I really dig like keyboards and organ like in my metal. You know, I don't know what it is. Like that was just like that was the time that like I kind of like I don't know. It just kind of I think it was Deep Purple that really was doing it. You know.
Yes, for sure.
They're the ones that really pioneered that for the bands that you know.
Absolutely.
Typo.
You
gotta give it up for Typo Negative. I mean, they weren't heavy metal, but they definitely had that heavy sound.
Keyboard.
Well, they were goth metal.
Keyboards. The keyboards add that extra. They add that extra like tone of darkness to me. You know, like I gotta have the keyboards in there. if I can. Sure. If not, but that again, that's part of my.
Yeah, big part of goth metal, dude. Which is like my subgenre.
Like I feel like if I don't have keyboard, even with my music, we try to whenever we can put a little bit of keyboards or organ and piano. I love all that. For me, like it doesn't have to have an orchestra, but if you could that's why I love Soilwork. They're one of my favorite bands. Dark Tranquility. Yeah, they have keyboards. They have a keyboard player. Both those bands have a keyboard player. In Flames, they have synthesizers and keyboards and piano too, but they don't have like a guy that's dedicated to it. But they do have the programming in it. They just play the track live, and it kind of same shit sort of. But there's not a dude there playing it, fucking moving around.
Electronic Coil does the same thing.
I like that though. Like I don't care. It doesn't really bother me. For me, like as long as it sounds good live and they're playing like most of it, if they're playing 80% of it, then I'm cool with that.
Not getting caught not getting caught like I don't know, Kiss or what was it?
Milli
Vanilli Crew.
Yeah,
they got caught not playing real instruments like
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Was it
what if you got a song, right? And you have like 16 guitar tracks, but you only have 2 guitar players. And then you got the 2 guys, you know what I mean? And they're so layered, but are you cool with that? Are you cool with like they're two like one guy's playing lead, one guy's playing rhythm, and then the other like fucking 14 tracks are playing through a PA? Are you cool with that?
I don't think I would be. Because it's like, are you gonna? If they're playing like 90% of it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. It's just like
is that going to really make you mad?
They can't bring like a full orchestra on with them.
To me, I don't give a fuck. To me, I'm just like that's still music. As long as they're singing, there's a rhythm, there's a lead. Some bands were trying it too. Because In Flames, they were like the first band, as far as I know, that was really doing that. Like on their first album, their second album, Jester Race, they had a lot of layered guitar tracks, and it sounded good. Like you got the lead, you got the rhythm, or you got 2 leads, 2 rhythms, and then you have sometimes an acoustic in the background. And when there's, obviously everybody's doing it now, but some of their stuff later on, they would play some of the guitar tracks through the PA because there's only 2 guys up there. But there was this band from Boston called Embody the Embrace, where they were a big influence. They were influenced by In Flames. So they had 2 leads and 1 rhythm. They had 3 guitar players and a singer.
Well, it's like you pay money to go see these guys, and they're not really playing. So it's like you're kind of being deceived and ripped off. Like there was that one. Kiss got caught big time. They they're playing Detroit Rock City.
Yeah,
and that Stanley guy wasn't even near his microphone, and then you start hearing his voice.
Dude. Dice Clay, he saw him in the supermarket. You guys see that shit? Dice Clay sees him in the supermarket. I don't know if it was a setup, but I follow Andrew Dice Clay on like TikTok and YouTube and shit, And he goes up to one of the dudes. I think it was Ace. He sees him in the supermarket. He's like, "Hey man, you know what I am? It's me. I'm fucking Clay. You know who I am." And he's like, "So I'm at the grocery store. I'm buying groceries." Like he was acting like a total bitch, Yeah. He's like, all right. I know what you're doing. All right. I know what you're doing. All right. Fuck it. Whatever. And then they just walk away. So I think it was a bit, it might've been a bit, Had to have been a bit.
Did you see him try to do a comeback though? He tried to do a comeback one time.
He's funny though, bro. Like I don't know. He's
been in some great acting roles, and actually,
yeah, he's found better luck acting.
He was very good in that.
Oh, I forgot. Franz Ferdinand. Didn't he do a detective movie too? Kind of like Pet Detective, remember? Like Franz Ferdinand or some shit. Where he had the Cadillac or something back in the 90s. I gotta watch that one.
Oh yeah, that was.
He tried to do. He tried to do a comeback one time, and I think some comedians are making fun of how outdated some of his materials were. Because one of his jokes was literally about the fax machine.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I heard comedy is like brutal, man. It's like I think it's the hardest one because you have to find jokes. A lot of these comedians they hire writers to do their jokes for them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's an old thing. Yeah, that's
and
not
if they tape it. Then you got to bring that same joke over. How are you going to have new material all the time?
It seems like a lot of these guys are getting pretty good at kind of like heckling like woke people that are offended.
Well, I know one guy. Yes. I know the trick. I know how to do it. I really know that like a good trick if I was going to do comedy. And it's Ari Spears. I watched that guy like a couple times. I'm like, oh, okay. So he'll be talking, and then he'll just pick on people from the audience, and then he falls into the low hanging racist shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and he'll do that, you know, and he'll pick on all the races, but it's brilliant. You just kind of do, you know, you have a couple jokes, right? You know, and then boom, you start picking on people. Oh, there's a white guy walking through the audience. He's like, oh man, when you know, I seen that motherfucker on the side of a nickel. You know what I mean? He's got long hair and a bald head. Oh, it's you know. You know what I mean? Oh, did you? When's the electricity coming? Motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the insult. It's like, it's insult comedy. That's
brilliant. That's probably what I would do.
Tradition, yeah.
That's what I would do. I would just pick on people. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot what the name of this one comedian, but there's this black lady that was complaining, and he insulted her by calling her Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's weak though. I would have done something better. Like I would really.
He had a lot more that led up to that, and she started, that's fucked up. He goes, you really? I got like 26 more insults that I have ready to go.
Yeah, in the chamber, you know. Yeah, well, because you know, even as like a cartoonist, right? If you're doing like like for me, I wanted to be a caricature artist when I was a kid. I didn't know that they don't make shit, and you work at Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags, right? But I wanted to do that. I love that, and I love Mad Magazine and Mort Drucker's art, and anyway. But when you do that, you learn how to size people up, and then you know if you watch a lot of movies like I did as a kid, you kind of know what people look like and who celebrities are, and you kind of like, oh, this guy looks like that motherfucker, or she looks like that bitch. You know what I mean? And then you just boom compile it, you know, and then you just pull that shit out of your Rolodex memory, and that's how you fuck people up with comedy, and people are gonna laugh at that shit because you know what band was actually pretty good at trolling people before trolling was even a thing. What's that? Fear. Fear?
Oh hell yeah!
They were in there's concert footage of them in San Francisco, and they're all
Primal Fear.
Yeah, they're calling people gay, and it's great to have friends like us.
Like Klaus Kinski, remember that shit? Oh, what am I doing? We got Blood Hunt 2 up right here, guys. This is our buddy Sim. He's got his sign up, another sign up right here. I got the link in the chat. It's Blood Hunt 2, Death Day, Cardinal Sin, 80 plus pages. Okay, so you're going to sign up. You're going to get an early bird tier with a sketch card. Blood Hunt 2. Right here, you got some of the art right here with Vincent by Sim. And it's Vincent's first bloody death day at the Vatican, and he's throwing him a celebration party. Sequel to Blood Hunt, a Death in Blood / Payback is a Bitch, funded in 2019 and 20 and published in, looks like May 2020. Get a cameo and die in the book, just like in the first campaign. This is the first time to be immortalized with a death scene by Vincent's own hand. I'm gonna have to do some fan art of this, but I'm scared. Look at this picture of the Vatican, dude.
Beautiful.
You know, again, I have no place in saying this. I ain't nobody, but this full Sims art's just like leveling up every time. You know what I mean? And I've seen this art a while ago, but it's just fuck, dude. He's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, he's really good. And you know, I definitely want to do there's a series he wants to do that I've got like in the chamber, but I kind of have something different in mind for him. But I'm not going to talk about what it is. But yeah, no, he's doing really good shit, and he delivers, and he always kind of over delivers. Like here it says 80 plus pages. That's because he doesn't know how fucking long this thing could be. It could be fucking 96 pages or something.
What it needs to be, it'll be what it needs to be. And the thing is, dude, he works on a lot of shit, but it eventually comes out. Like it will eventually come out. Like and I'm like, damn, dude, Sim's been working on this shit for a while, but damn, he said he was working on this, but he fucking finished it and it came out. Like Tales from the Natverse. Like, dude, okay, so I've been in the scene for a while, and it was Sim and Preston. There was the two guys that were really good to me, and I'll never forget.
Yeah, to a lot of people,
And Sim, he did Blood Hunt, then he did Tales from the Natverse 2, Hellzone, and he's doing like all this like work, and these big books. That's 4 books already in like all these years, and they're big books, and then he has all these other books he's working on too, and his art's getting better and better. And he could do so much. If you go to his Instagram, you can see the likenesses that he does for celebrities. Dude, he's so fucking good, man. Like you really don't know. I will say this too about Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt is the first Blood Hunt. In my opinion, it's the best action-packed horror comic book that I've ever backed. Period. It's all black and white too. Fun. So fucking entertaining. It's awesome. It's packed with action. And you know me, I'm always like crying about and preaching about and screaming about action in comic books and fight choreography and the way it's laid out. Blood Hunt is still the best book that I've seen, and it's all black and white. He was talking about doing it maybe a black and white and red one, but I'm really looking forward to this. And this is definitely my favorite IP by Sim Potier. I wish he would just do Blood Hunt all the time. I'm like, I love all your other stuff, but dude, I love Blood Hunt. It's just really good. So get in there and sign up. There's a trailer right here. It's probably pretty metal. I don't think I've seen it, but let's check it out.
Yeah. Most of this shit is most of this shit.
Love the guitar.
By moonlight, the hunt begins. Crimson marks on pallid skin. Enchanted foes, mortal sin. A game of death, I'm here to win. Blood hunt, no time to stall. Monsters fall as I hear the call. Vincent's out, the shadows crawl. Fear the Reaper, yourself. I'll take the bounties, leave behind death. With fangs and stealth, I'll steal your breath. Screams in silence, hearts in chains. Under darkness, start the games. Shadows meld through night. I vow, with every kill, hear the midnight howl. The cursed and damned, they meet their end. Merciless track, no soul to bend.
Yeah, that was badass. Most definitely. And I like it too because for me, it scratches that kind of itch of like Blade. You know what I mean? Underworld. It's those type of movies that I really like. Devil May Cry. You know what I mean? But he's still his own thing, and it's just all fun. I love the character design. I think he's cool. Like imagine him walking down the street with like the flames on his shit. Like who's this motherfucker? Like in modern times now. You're like, is this guy a cosplayer or something? And just fucking turns around and starts blasting you. Or just, he sees a vampire behind you. Why is he shooting?
I'm still fucking butthurt that he and Preston haven't even done the crossover that I wrote, the Blood Hunt Doc Salem crossover. Because that's it, man. That just got out of hand really fucking fast. Like it was supposed to be like 48 pages, and I was like, like I'm on page 46, and there's like they've just started sort of beating the crap out of each other. They're still beating the shit out of each other. Got a big museum fight in that's going to be really epic. Oh man, and then the Lovecraft's Dark Ones and Innsmouth and all kinds of cool shit.
It might not be, everything happens at a certain time. You know what I mean? Like God makes things happen. It might not be the time right now, but it may be. Like maybe more people need to see Blood Hunt too. You know what I mean? Maybe we need a Doc Salem too. Maybe we need more of the Doc Salem lore and more of the Preston as Aveda lore. And then boom, we get that.
Yep.
But it's because the story you have for that, it's evergreen. It could come and go at any time. You know, from what I've heard of it. I've only heard a little, just whispers in the dark. So you guys want to play a game, or are you gonna go to bed, or?
I got a boogie, unfortunately.
All right, I'll save that for later time.
Get some nom noms.
All right, later, bro.
Hold on, I got something I want to share first. Just a little something.
What you got, brother? What you got? Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. That's for the showing up for my show. What you doing, buddy?
I didn't mean to peace out like that without saying later.
No, that's cool.
Later, Tim. Later, Matt, and later, Chad. Peace and love, everybody. Be kind to each other.
I'll see you next week or something. Oh wait, Brian, where'd you go? Here we go.
Wait, here, hold on.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
Well, here we go. You can see it?
Hey, you did a stream on Friday, right?
Yeah, I tried to.
What?
Yeah,
you have StreamYard, right?
Yeah, I have StreamYard, but I haven't updated it, so I can record a show. I can't.
Why don't you just live stream it?
You have to upgrade.
What? Upgrade what?
Well, when you have the basic, the free one, you can record, but you can't go live.
Yeah, you can.
Really? I'm gonna have to look at. I don't know if it's the version.
Here we go with the 14-year-old voice cracking. Yeah, you can go live. I have that too. I got the most basic setup. I got the most basic setup of all time, dude.
I do not have a 14-year-old voice. Take that back.
Oh, me. My voice cracks all the time like a 14-year-old. But the thing is, dude, yeah, I got the most basic plan. I don't even pay anything. It's free. You get 12 hours a month. I actually did a video of it on my other channel. But just go in there and just kind of fuck with it a little bit, dude. Then you just got to add your YouTube channel, spend some time there, tweak out on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guess maybe I didn't look at it well enough. I'll try that again. But
yeah, then you could, dude. You should be live streaming, bro. Like you would be pulling in some numbers, man.
Probably.
I know you would. And your book's awesome. You got a cool character. You're out there. You got boots on the ground. You're out there doing stuff. You're entertaining. I know you would do great with live streams. And like me, I'm starting to do live draw streams more now too. Trying to do like one a week.
I got a boogie myself.
If you need help with that, just let me know, dude. I could try to help you out if I got the free time, and we can set up. That way you can go beep beep beep. Hit the live button.
I got a piece out. My laptop.
Gotcha. All right, brother. Well, I'll see you next time then, I guess. Let's see here. I have a trailer right here for a movie. It's been out. The trailer's been out for a while, guys. You guys probably seen it, but I haven't watched the trailer yet. So I'm gonna share it with you. And yeah, it looks like there's 4 people still watching. Hail. Let's see here. Got 2 trailers for you guys. This one is for Nobody 2.
I've come to terms with the fact.
What the hell? Let's try that again. Hard to go see that movie. Yeah, that was the first time I ever seen that trailer. Jay Tunnel sign. Oh, hey, what's up, Jay Dollar? I was like wondering who that was in the Crimson Dark. Yeah. You see, you what do you about the Nobody or what? You like the Nobody movie?
Oh yeah, I like that dude.
He's first dude. I never finished Better Call Saul. Oh, I love that first movie. It was just like too good. And then I watched this. I never watched Better Call Saul.
I watched like the first 2 episodes. I'm like, man, no.
It's so slow motion for me. It's so slow motion. But once it gets going, it gets good. He's not even my favorite character. My favorite character is Mark Ehrmantraut, the guy that gets 86, like in Breaking Bad. The dirty cop. The guy, the old guy that talks like that, and he's got the bald head. That guy's my favorite. But yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I kind of got rid of that network at the time, but Nobody. I guess he had the special features. He like fucking really injured himself or had a heart problem, you know, but he still kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And like, he's making action movies, you know, like fucking, he's a comedian and a writer for The Simpsons, for fuck's sake.
He's got a lot of cash.
Yeah.
Like he's like Jared Leto at this point right now.
Dude, and I would literally go pay for that movie. It just looks like a fun movie. Like
what? Nobody? No.
Nobody too?
Yeah, in the theater.
What are you gonna go see anything in the theater this summer?
Doomsday, for sure. And
Doomsday.
Yeah.
What's Doomsday? I'm trying to think.
Avengers Doomsday.
Oh wait, that's coming out this summer?
No, next year or whatever.
Oh, okay. So you're not going out this summer though to see anything?
No, I haven't seen a movie since the second to the last Star Wars film.
Fuck around.
That shitty one with the.
I might go see Superman. Superman comes out on my birthday.
Absolutely not. No.
But I don't know. He's a little too emo for me in the wrong ways. You know what I mean? That's like that. That's the thing where I'm like, and then Gunn. I really don't like Gunn, man. Like just all those pedo things he did, all the fucking little pedo shit. You know. Then he just started like sweeping, you know. I remember when fucking Evan put all the shit out there, like back in the day. That's how I found out about it. Evan did like a big video about it, where he like showed all the shit. I was like, fuck, you know. And then he just swept and just kind of fucking moved around through DC and Marvel, you know, making his movies and shit. His movies are good, but I'm just like, man, those are some fucking dark jokes, you know. I just like, I don't know, man. I don't know, but
the problem, I was talking with Heather, my wife, about this earlier. The problem with James Gunn is he puts his personality in all his movies.
Yeah, and it's like really political now too.
You can't do that with like Superman. You can't do that with Superman. But I'll definitely watch it like first day it's pirated on the internet. That's for sure.
That sounds like more J Dollar.
Yeah.
Are you doing your channel right now or what? You're not. Huh?
Yeah, every time I think of something interesting to talk about. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
because you were doing pretty good there for a minute, man. You're fucking pulling some views and shit. I was watching your ass too, because I'm a night owl most now. At least that's my schedule, you know.
Same.
So that's what I'm doing my comic booking. You know what I mean? And usually I'm tuning in and seeing what's up at night. You know, not that many people stream that late anymore. So, you know, I do this because this is the only time I can really let loose and do my show. So I do it Saturday. Yeah, because the kids are in bed and whatnot. You know, so
Same.
But I changed my channel name, so I'm celebrating a little bit. I got this Texas Longhorn whiskey. It's got a batch number.
Maker's Mark and Pepsi.
Ooh, that's good. I like Maker's Mark. I almost picked up. I was at the Total Wine. I don't know if you got a Total Wine out there in your parts, but it's a pretty cool store. They got like 1,500 beers, like aisles of liquor. Just a massive.
Yeah, we got a huge place like that. It has everything in it. Yeah,
like a Bevmo and shit. But this place is pretty big, dude. Like that was where I would go to do all my beer reviews for like 6 years. You know, I go to Total Wine. But I stopped doing the beer because it gives me allergies now. Go figure, right? Maybe Metal Movies and Brewsky'S, you know, another reason. So now I'm kind of like
allergies.
Yeah, I wake up the next day sneezing and stuff. You know, congestion. Yeah, the only thing, especially like the Pilsners, that type of stuff. You know, the IPAs. But the stouts, they don't really, you know.
You're in your early 40s, right? Late 30s?
Yeah, I'm 41.
Yeah, so genetically, you should be going through like a new phase of allergies that you didn't have in your 20s and your teens. So that's a normal thing. Like when we moved down here from Virginia to Alabama, it's like a whole new set of allergies. Whole new set of allergies, bro. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They're filming a lot of movies out there. Do you ever see in TV shows? Do you ever see anybody doing that out there?
What?
Any of the filming that's going on down there? I know Walking Dead.
They did like Fast and the Furious down here, part of it.
Walking Dead.
They also did some other film. So in the last couple of years, there's been like two movies really close, but most of it's done in Atlanta, which is like 3 hours from here.
Yeah, that place seems pretty interesting. I'd like to go down there and maybe get some food down there.
What, Atlanta?
Yeah, or no, Georgia. Dude, I haven't really been around the country that much. I actually want to go around and do a trip, but I can't take off work, but there's a lot of states I want to hit up because I'm not like a devout history buff, but there's certain things, that I like to check out, you know what I mean? And I'm into that. But I do like to travel when I can. I think it's fun. I like checking out. I love history, man. That was one of my,
you like the Civil War shit and all that?
I love all history, bro. It all fascinates me. World history, American history, Civil War, everything, dude. Like I'm just fascinated with history, but I don't. I've forgotten more things that I've learned from it. It's embarrassing.
One of my uncles used to do the Civil War reenactments.
That's cool.
Like it would be hundreds of people, and you would go on the sidelines and you would watch the Civil War reenactment.
Yeah,
shit like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've been to a couple of them.
I was writing a song about that, and I forgot where it was, but there's like I think it was, obviously Gettysburg, but it's like haunted, like you don't want to go there.
Yeah, I've been to Gettysburg, all that shit.
That's cool. Yeah,
it's really like I think Gettysburg was just like the hill. It's like a hilly area.
That's right.
It's nothing really fancy.
That's a problem lately.
So there's some places, like when we lived in South Carolina, we went to this one state park and it had a lot of those giant chimneys, like huge fucking chimneys, like where you could like walk underneath them. And I would assume they were like it was probably like a mill area or maybe a early steel area or something like that. But and I've been to a couple old what would you call them, forts. I've been to a bunch of forts. Like I have a South Carolina fort right there on the wall.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's a dope ass fort.
Forts are cool, man. Yeah. They don't really use those enough in movies, you know what I mean? I was actually for one of my Butch Cleaver stories, I was gonna put a fort like if there's like a good ending piece, you know what I mean? It's just there's some, I think there's some in Louisiana too, but that whole like Gulf area. But the thing is like with stories, like I'm always for the end of the story, you don't want to put it like you don't want to have it in the street unless it's just like maybe The Crow or something that's that epic. But you need like a really cool like headquarters, somewhere where it can really end. And you don't really get forts that much. You don't get forts in movies, especially.
Do you know forts? Do you know who the YouTuber Peter Santinello is?
Nope, never heard of him.
Yeah, he's a bald guy. He travels all around. But he just went to some forts in Florida.
Okay.
He does like an hour documentary. Like just type in Peter Santinello and follow him. You'll love his videos. The video he just uploaded yesterday, day before, he's in what do you call that? Where's that shit? We used to go to the beach houses all the time.
Outer Banks.
He went to the Outer Banks, and he went to like where Blackbeard was killed and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's been going to Kitty Hawk. He's been to Kitty Hawk and all the Outer Banks because Heather's grandparents used to spend like $12,000 a year to get us a beach house twice a year.
Sick.
And we used to go there all the time. It's where all the huge like the beach houses that have elevators in them and shit. And it's amazing out there, bro. If you've never been, it's definitely a place to go.
Yeah, I like to go everywhere, dude. Miami, even like just Florida. I want to go down to New Orleans. I want to meet up with Preston. That'd be cool. You met Preston, huh?
Yeah, I stayed at his house.
See, I hang out with that guy like a bunch of times, and crazy, yeah,
we stayed at his house. We went to Texas. Heather had a job event, and on our way back, instead of getting a hotel, we stayed at Preston's house with his girlfriend, his wife, whatever you want to call. She's a teacher, decent house, and I think they just moved into an even bigger, better house.
Yeah, they got a new one because of the hurricane fucking took the last house.
Well, where they lived, it's just like what's going on in Florida. They keep building all these houses, but one, it's at sea level or below, and two, you're adding way too much plumbing. So when it rains, everything floods. Right. So it's just like a 4 or 5 inch rain in certain parts, like where Preston lived, bro, the water would be in the streets just from a normal rain.
Yeah.
They're building like 400 or 500 houses at a time.
Slamming them, huh?
And they're just, and it's a flood zone now, and it's horrible. So
that sucks. I want to go down there. I want to check out. I want to go to New Orleans. I don't want to go during Mardi Gras. I want to check out all that shit. I want to see I want to go to the big cemeteries. I want to check out Bourbon Street, all that shit. I don't want to go when everyone's fucking shaking their boobs and flaunting their beads and all that stuff.
Yes, you do. When
I don't give a fuck about that. I go there for like the I want to check out the all that stuff, the food, the architecture, the culture. That's why I want to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's haunted too, bro. Like, that's like Butch Cleaver. That's like a big influence on me. Is that area?
I lived in New Orleans for almost 3 years. I went to elementary school in New Orleans.
I worked one of my meat managers. He came from there, and he moved over here, and he's like, man, this town, man, it's a lot like New Orleans. It's not like New Orleans, And he was like a quarterback that was pretty good quarterback on some team out there. But he got in the meat industry, and he's got like fucking 5 kids with all these women. And but yeah, he was a funny guy. I remember he just left one day and never came back, like during the holidays, and I had to just run everything. He was my manager,
And you've never been to Florida either?
No, I've been to Arkansas, dude, but it's like I was 4, bro. I'm fucking 41 now. I don't remember. I just remember like frogs jumping on a screen door. That's all I remember of the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, but lately I went to Mexico a few years back. That was fun. That was fun. I'm like, dude, traveling's so cool. I want to go to Germany first, though. That's like the main place I want to go. I mean, yeah, man. It's like, do you save up for a house in your 40s, or do you save up for a house, or do you save up and go on vacation? You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, bro, I'd rather go on vacations, man. I'd rather go and kind of travel with my wife, and like, when the kids are getting older, that's what I want to do. I want to go to Germany, Norway, New Zealand. I want to travel to the US as much as possible, I'm over here in California, so I definitely want to hit up like the whole like Pacific seaboard. You know what I mean? I want to go up to, Alcatraz is going to be reopened now. Did you hear about that shit?
Yeah.
I know you heard about it. You're up on all that shit.
Yeah.
How's your art coming along?
I gave my tablet to my daughter, and she's been drawing a lot. But I had a super vivid dream the other day about the cyberpunk story I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And so I've really just been. Naps are really interesting recently. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You should see the new video I dropped. I got another channel too. I got 2 channels now.
Yeah. We talked about it a while ago. Remember?
I think so.
I told you to do 2 channels.
Yep. And whatchamacallit, on there I'm talking about artist block on the new one. I filmed the video today, but I still gotta edit it, and it's gonna come out in like three weeks from now. Because I keep them on a schedule, you know what I mean? 6 a.m. Mondays, boom. But one of the things I talk about in there is like when you got your artist block, you start doing the Tony Stark thing with Robert Downey Jr. You start moving your hands around and you start putting the panels in there. You know what I mean? That kind of helps out a little bit. I know it sounds far out and it sounds stupid.
No. Like storyboarding is great.
But you're kind of moving things around in your mind, and you're doing that. Another thing is, because I'm just laying things out there from my experience and things that I've heard, is that when you're walking early in the morning or whenever, it's a good time, or night, you get the blood pumping, it's flowing through you, but you're looking at the panels too when you're walking, and this can relate to as a piece, or it can even relate to writing as well. But, you can see the panels, you can like step through them, dude, when you're walking, you can see them, and it's just, for me, it really worked out. It works out like that. As soon as I start walking, shit just starts unclogging in my head, And,
naps and, when the cock crows behavior. So they're
smart.
Well,
sorry, not the cock, but the crows, I was going to say. The blackbirds.
When a priest or a monk was supposed to get up in the morning, when the cock crows, you take your morning piss, you do your morning prayers. And when you lay back down in the bed, if you're able to fall back into a sleep, you can have vivid dreams as long as you don't wake up out of them.
It makes sense.
And I've really done a good job at, I can't do it all the time, but sometimes when they hit me, like these dreams are so strange and I write them down. And
you can have a notepad right there. You have a notepad.
Yeah, like I literally, I write down my dreams.
I got a notepad video, bro. I got a notepad video.
This is my.
You got to. I seen a new video today by AKA Pad. Are you subscribed to AKA Pad? Peter DeLuca. AKA Pad.
Mm-mm.
Peter DeLuca, also known as Peter A. DeLuca Pad.
Yeah, I know DeLuca. Yeah.
He's got a great channel. But he was showing the fucking he does like these indie reviews. I fucking love him. And he was doing the Peter Laird, the Ninja Turtle stuff, you know, when they were setting up pages on these big like books and putting his panels, because everybody makes comics differently, dude, you know, and he had these novels that really showed how to do it today, you know, and I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. And I was talking with our boy Dan Plagle the other day, you know, about and I talk with Preston. I'm always trying to pick from everybody, dude. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then evolving my style. The artist in you, the creator, it's an ever evolving style that's never going to end. You know what I mean? But one thing Plagle does is he doesn't do layouts. He just does pencils on the 11 by 17, then he inks it. You know, and I'm like, he's like, when you're doing, that's how you do 10 pages a day. Homeboy was doing 10 pages a day.
Do you follow Mike S. Miller at all?
Yeah, Mike's cool, dude. Sometimes I jump on the stream with him, but
he's found a new art style, and it's those watercolor markers that he's been using.
Yeah.
And what you just said about DeLuca, he just said that in the video he did of Mary Jane ripping off the Venom suit.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see that, but I seen
the way he articulated it. He's Mike S. Miller says he's essentially like changed his art style because of these markers. Yeah. So he would just do a silly little rough layout, and then all of a sudden these watercolor markers, like when he draws on the paper, it kind of looks like a watercolor. They're very nice markers. And he said from just doing the simple layout that he has in his head, and then he'll start adding the watercolors, and once that depth of those watercolors are in there, then the piece, like it's in his head, and then listen to his last video about him doing the Mary Jane and the Venom cover. Like it's 11 minutes long, I think, 11, 12 minutes. But listen to what he says. You're like, man. So it's just
I like Mike. He's cool. Yeah. I've been on stream with him a couple of times. Maybe I'll have him on the channel someday when he launches another book or something. He's a nice guy. He's a phenomenal artist. He's funny as fuck. And then he has another guy. He has some cool, like those drawn and quarter streams. He's got the homie Howl comics on there. Alonzo, you know Alonzo, the Howl. That dude, man. Oh my God. He's like the fastest dude I've ever seen. It's so good. I love his art style. I love how fast and like pro it looks. You know, it's so clean. He's on another level. Like, he's like the hidden talent of our sphere. I think Alan Alonso, the Howl comics. He's so fucking fast too. That's like what I would want to do, but I'll never do that. But yeah, him doing that.
It seems like the way your art style is kind of mature, and it feels like that Stephen Hughes, Evil Ernie early days. And I feel like you're gonna like. Do you remember? Have you ever looked at the early Evil Ernie books and the early Lady Death books? They're really not the best.
I love it. Great. I love it. No, I love it, dude. Great. I love Evil Ernie, dude. And, and like some of the things you do give me those member berries. About like even some early Judge Dredd books, not the stuff now, but the early. I love all good stuff too.
You know how the Ninja Turtles look like shit early on, and they got a little. Yep. Same thing with Judge Dredd. Same thing with Evil Ernie, and the artist one day just had that's what happens. And he's doing the most beautiful Lady Death you could ever think about.
Yeah, no, that's how I am too. Like I'll hit a corner and I'll get actually better. I'll learn something like Neo, you know. But then I'll step back. I'll have some step backs. Like damn, you know, I'm falling off again. And then boom, I'll step forward again. Like and I'm like, how the fuck did I do that? you know, and that's like, and sometimes it's the muse. I really believe in that.
What it is,
it gets into you and it fucking takes over, and you don't think as much, and you start moving, and it really, that's what happens, dude. You know.
I think what it is, it's one, it's completely your subconscious,
100%.
And the battle of that subconscious, you know. Like, yep. I hate when people, you know, some people we hang out when they're on the internet, they'll criticize themselves. You know, like, if you criticize yourself on the internet, you probably criticize yourself when you're off the internet. Yeah. And then I think there's some people who don't do that criticize thing, and they do the 180, and their focus can outweigh the detriments. Because like you have a art style that's like, you know, clearly you're not an Ethan Van Sciver, and then like you have Elasmats in your category. Like you guys are doing the, like with the French and the Germans, like those old comic books would do, like this. It's eclectic. Like,
yep.
You are clearly not copying anyone, and it's your style. And then you have the perseverance to continue to do it. And then, you know, like, again, the example of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, honestly, those first books were fucking horrible. They were horrible. All the early Ninja Turtles, you read them now, you're like, man, they're so good. But if you really look at them at the time, they're not good books, you know, like but they are. You know what I mean? So what is that culty, not cliche? What's the word I'm looking for? It's
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's that.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
But it's also indie. It's also indie at the same
niche
time. Niche indie, but it's also at the same time. You know,
like the Crow. You remember?
The Crow is a perfect example.
Yeah, it has like an archaic art style that like some kid was doing.
You see his evolution throughout the book. He gets better and better and better as the book goes on. So that is the most profound example of what you speak, in which he grows as an artist throughout the book. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm always trying to do better, and I'm always trying to like take little things from everybody, just like everybody does. You know what I mean? Like all artists do that. You know?
Yeah, you get that.
Every now and then, every couple of years, I'll hit a corner and I'll get better. You know? But it's weird. I've been working on the same book now, and you could see like just things change, and then sometimes you get better and sometimes you don't. And it's just like, yeah, I could have done that better. But then sometimes you look at it, you're like, but that's the piece, that's the energy. I'm moving through this. I'm moving it. You know, it's like some pieces are supposed to be that way and some they're not. But then
Sam Keith was the same way.
He was my favorite artist growing up as a kid. Him and Todd McFarlane, those are my two main kind of guys growing up. And then I don't know, I got like 30 influences, you know, and it's very strange. Like I like the way I like Bisley a lot, Sam Keith, Mort Drucker from Mad Magazine. I love the cartooning. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a caricature artist. I also love there's so many artists. I can't name them all. And then there's more that just keep coming in, like Daniel Warren Johnson. You know, I watched what he did, and that just kind of, you could see what somebody does and one little thing, and then you can and put that into your style, and that can level you up, even though he doesn't draw like you or anything like that. Because I'm always looking for tools and secrets from everybody, and that can always help. And then I try to bring it to my stuff. But it's also, so there's a whole artistic thing, but then there's a whole like professional, like I got to get pages done thing, and how quick am I going to do it?
One second. I have to pee, and Heather's going to bed.
For sure. So right now, I got a trailer lined up for you guys. This is a big sequel to another movie. I seen this trailer earlier, and I was just like awestruck. This is a long trailer. Okay, I'm not gonna play all of it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat so you guys can check it out. You guys probably seen it. You probably have it. It's fucking hilarious. Okay, the first movie, fucking hilarious. The first movie was just a trailer, and it's just been like a big fan project for a long time. Okay, and just to let you guys know, this one is called Kung Fury 2. Here we go. Wow, I didn't even realize the beginning of this is so awesome and epic. Look at that shot. You got Castle Grayskull on the right. You got Commando at the top. You got Knight Rider. You got Terminator. You got this Miami Vice.
In a city overrun with crime, in a time ruled by chaos, the world's #1 rock band is also the world's greatest crime.
It's crazy because a lot of my books, I got rock bands in my shit too, you know. Well, actually, they're metal bands, sorry.
Fighting team. They are the Thunder Cops. Barbarian.
So, I ain't gonna lie. I actually thought of the same name about 2 weeks ago. Oh, I've never seen a character called Barbariana like a chick.
Triceracop.
That's a good one. Triceracop. That's gold.
Dynamite. Hackerman.
Hackerman.
Kung Fury.
What are you gonna do, Kung Fury?
My job.
Oh, dude. I hope they make this a movie.
Kung Fury. They're on a mission to clean up the streets. But when the worst criminal of all time unleashes an army of darkness on Miami, it's time for
Miami always looks so cool in the 80s and 90s.
the Thunder Cops to take down the Kung Fury.
Fuck you!
And send Adolf Hitler.
It looks like this movie is just like, okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and put AI in here, like in little spots. And it kind of works.
To Adolf Hitler. Seek fail. Strap in. Gear up. And hang on for the ultimate action epic thrill ride.
See, like J Dollar, this is like some indie shit, you know, but it's just fun and trashy, you know.
Kung Fury, the movie.
Well, I've had it up to here with you damn Thunder Cops. All this Nazi fighting.
Right there, you had a little sci-fi channel CGI stomping with that T-Rex foot.
Wasting my goddamn time. Lucky for you, the President of the United States, he disagrees. So, he's giving your task force a new leader.
That's our boy right there. You know, in the beginning, he was Butch Cleaver. That was a guy I wanted. That was a guy I kind of was basing off of. You know, I cast my characters. Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender is a cult magnum.
So yeah, you guys gotta watch this trailer. I don't know. I was talking to the homie at work, and he was like, "Yeah, they're gonna make a real movie of it. It's 11 minutes long. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Please go watch it. If you guys are ripping blunts or bongs or whatnot, or having a beer, please do that and then go watch this. I beg you. You will laugh your fucking ass off, and you will slap your knees. And sometimes you just need that trash. You know what I mean? That fun trash. And these guys were all about it. Okay. And wait till you see who the president is in there. Okay. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna spoil it. You guys gotta watch it. It's a fun little Saturday night. A good way to end the night. Good way to end the night. You know. And if you haven't watched Kung Fury, go watch that. It's a short movie. The movie is like 10 minutes long. Did you ever watch Kung Fury, J Dollar?
Hell no. I didn't even know it existed.
Brother, man, go watch Kung Fury. It's fucking trash cheese. It's fun, but it's aware. It's charming. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah, I love it. 80s and 90s action films are especially like Jewish action films back in the day.
These ones aren't. This is like a mockery of it. It's like a.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, but I love them. I love those horrible films. I forget. There was these couple Jewish films that were done, and the main character was that really badass black guy who ended up. He looked good. He had the nice black people mustache from the 80s, but he ended up dying of a heart attack, a little like in his 50s, unfortunately. So he did. I don't know, like he was just that big ass muscle dude with the mustache, and he kind of looks like the guy who was. What is his name?
Shaft. I think it was Fred.
No.
From Dusk Till Dawn. He's in From Dusk Till Dawn. He's like.
No, he died way before that. He died way before that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I love those cheesy films. Cheesy films are the best.
They're the best.
And I also love, I love old Italian films.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I have watched so many horrible films. Even those ones that, like, what were like the nun brutality films? Like the nuns were always like softcore things. It's not really porn, but like it's about like the church and all that. And I watched all of those fucking movies, all of them.
No, they're fun, dude. They're fun.
Yeah.
You know, like some people, like for me, even for me, it took a while to come around and watching that shit. And it was Chris Gow that got me into that shit. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. It's just fun. You know, he even got me on the kaiju shit, and I see why people like, oh, okay, it's just.
I'm not
into that, but I would watch a couple. I haven't watched.
I like Wicked City.
I like War of the Gargantuan
stuff like that.
I like War of the Gargantuan
stuff. Not so much.
I like War of the Gargantuans was pretty dope. Because like for me, I like look at the whole like artisan like craftsmanship of it. You know what I mean? Like you got these big dudes in these suits and this massive set. They just fill the set with water and they got all these trees and they get in there and just beat the fuck out of each other in these costumes. I'm like, okay, I get it. I see what people are. You know, that's the way I look at it. Kind of like that from like a carpenter kind of. You know what I mean? Like a rigging perspective with makeup. You know, all that shit. You know, production value. You know, so I'm like, okay, this shit's fucking hard. I like that. This shit's dope. You know. But I love all that. Brian put me up on all that, dude. That we had fun with that channel. I hope he comes back with the horror movie club again. But right now he's kind of just working on the comics. Are you? How's the other book you've been working on?
It's finalized, and I've got a pretty good idea of like a prologue system to Torah. So it's called Torah, which is the Jewish Bible, but it's an acronym. And like I dream still to this day of the cover of Bone Cutter and Breakspear. Like I still to this day, like,
dude, I don't know what that is. What is Bone Cutter and Breakspear?
They're two of the characters in the Torah story.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And so like, if I make money this year, next year, things can happen, but probably not. That's okay. But I'll just build. But yeah. But I have all the characters, all the character designs, all the names, all the story plot, the prose. Basically, it's prosed out.
Really?
The cyberpunk story is, what's the word? Let me look at the word real quick. Let me change it.
For you guys that don't know, J-Doll is working on something really cool. Let's just say it's barbaric. Okay. And if you guys don't know who J-Doll is, he's been on YouTube for a long time. He's been around the scene of the comic book crowdfunding scene. And what he's been showing me over the years. It's just something that it's the cool stuff, the coolest shit I ever seen. Especially you guys that are into like Norse mythology, you're gonna fucking love it. You guys are gonna love it. And for me, I'm already a big fan of his work. I've already told him a couple times I would love to do some art for the book in any capacity. I love the characters. He's gonna need a really capable artist to pull it off.
Remember, did I ever show you this right here? Just like something I did a long time ago. I think I showed you this, right?
Do you want? Let me. Let's. You want me to show? Is it cool if I show it?
Yeah, it's my desktop. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's Babe.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I love like the designs that you have because they're so primal, and the way that you take it back to the Germanic culture. A lot of this stuff is Germanic. Okay.
Her belt. So remember in when the Scandinavians and the battle axe culture started to write, they did all of their spells from right to left, not left to right. So the spell on her belt is an actual spell from one of the earliest it's from an individual who's unfortunately a Catholic era of when it was like transcribed, I suppose. But it's from right to left. It's an actual rune quote And if you look, it has the crows because she's the goddess. Because remember, Babe is essentially is the primordial. How do you say that? Primordial being of battlefields. So you know, because Babe is essentially the crow of the battlefield.
Yeah.
And in the Celtic mythology, she's the first to arrive before slaughter. So, and that's why like her staff is, you know.
Yeah, I love this art. I love this piece you've done right here. And like you've done a lot of like really cool pieces like this too that you've shown me throughout a couple of years, man. And I just really sucked in, and for you,
You
I've
like my
always
mountains?
Yeah, those are cool. I like your purple sky and your moonlight in the background. It's in conjunction with the staff that she's drawing power from, possibly.
Well,
dude, it's just, dude, man. Like, because a lot of people haven't fucked with Germanic, like, you know. Still, it's untapped. There's still a lot of untapped stuff. It's really just Vikings, Greek shit. You know what I mean? Roman shit. They love their Roman shit. They love their gladiator. You know what I mean? They still haven't really fucked with China and like the whole China mysticism too much. And obviously, Mexica, which is Aztec and Mayan. You know, like, but the Germanic stuff that's going on up in Northern Europe by Scandinavia, no one's touching that shit.
Yeah,
you know?
Look, I'll show you. I showed you Odin. I show you my Odin drawing.
You showed me like in DMs on my old account before I got.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did.
Sucks, dude. I had like so many homies like with so much art and so much like stuff that they show me over like the years. Clients, all kinds of stuff I lost like a few months ago. What up, Halder? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Hell.
Yeah, I can get Halder to start drawing some of my characters too.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal artist. I've been pushing. I'm just gonna keep pushing that guy, dude. Like he needs to just start doing other stuff. Like Halder, now's your time, brother. You just gotta take that jump and you gotta start working on other people's stuff. Just don't look at anything. Just start drawing Batman, Superman, Thor. You want to draw Odin? You want to draw fucking Marvel Thor? You want to draw? Just get in there, dude. You're good. You're really good. You got to do that. You got to make mistakes. You got to fuck up. It's okay. That's part of the artistic journey. It's gonna be fun when you fuck up. I'm telling you, you're so good. You guys don't know who Halder is, man. He's a phenomenal artist. Check out his videos. And please, Halder, drop your link in the chat, man. People got to come check out your work. I love what you did with the Garbage Man. So cool. So cool.
All right, here's Wodeness. I think I showed you this one.
Oh yeah, this dude. It's so fucking iconic, man. Like when you show me this, I was just like, dude, what's up with the book, bro? Like I'm still to this day gonna be hounding you. And I've never seen him like that. I got my own Odin or Woden, or you know, there's different, and again, that goes back to Germania, you know, and the Germanic people of which we are. Dude, he looks so cool. He looks so iconic.
And you have, if you look at his belt, you know how Mimir was always tied to Odin's hip.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, he's the face in his belt. So it's Mimir in his.
Damn, that's sick.
In his belt.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to shoot me these over on the DMs, dude. You're gonna have to shoot me some of these characters. I want to maybe draw them one day for fun.
Yeah, but he's like fucking. He would be like 80 something feet tall in this story.
Oh, really? Oh, that's dope. Yeah, that's big.
And Bonecutter and Breakspear, they would be like 20 something feet tall. You remember?
So they're just straight up like kaiju's in here, you know, monoliths.
Yeah. And then Babe, since she's a female character, she would be around like 17, 18 feet tall. You know what I mean? But of course,
like I never knew that. Like, I remember we talked extensively about it in the old DMs I had before they got fucking. Dude, I wish we had our conversations, man. We're talking deep lore on your shit. But I never knew that they were kaijus. I don't like to use the word, but giants of that nature.
Yeah.
That because you say giant, people think like 14 feet tall. You say kaiju, then people know how big it is. You know.
Now this motherfucker is 80 something feet tall. You know what I mean? Like that's. And then I have
do that, man. Start doing the daily figure drawing on X. I would recommend you do that live stream too if you can. You don't got to say nothing to nobody. Just do it on your phone. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I know I'm from experience.
So I started drawing. Man, I'm just a terrible procrastinator. And then like when money hits me in the taint, like I lose all interest in everything. It's like kind of a personal thing I got to get over in my life, I suppose. But
everybody does that, man. Everybody does that, you know.
Yeah. I have a few more on here, I think. Yeah, but like I've totally dreamed up.
Nice. That was short for you.
All of the prologue for how I want, because dude, like how
I know where it goes. I remember where it goes. Where you told me where it goes. I was like, "Oh, you're taking it there? Okay, that's fucking epic." I mean, okay. Like,
and I got a whole moon book in my head, so it's the three religions, as you would put it, and in the second part of the arc, it's more of the it's not Christian based, but it's more of the old religion style, I guess is the way to put it. And and it takes place on the moon. I
don't want to say it.
Oh my god!
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. But that's enough. That's enough right there. You don't want to give the ending away.
Gives me chills just thinking about it.
No, I know, and I remembered it, and I don't even talk to you that much, homie. You know, and I was like, dude, this will like, dude, I know when shit's fucking dope. You know what I mean? Your shit's cool, and I know you do your research. You're a fucking historian. People know how smart you are around here in these parts. You know, and it's like if J Dollar is gonna do something, he's gonna do his fucking research. You're like, oh shit, you know, he's gonna have all the little ornamentation on all the characters and everything about it. He's gonna do a deep dive. It's gonna be a fucking. You're gonna go in there, even if you don't expand on the lore, it's gonna be fucking lived in because J Dollar did it. You know, and you've never done a book before. And if you were to hit it with that book, that's the fucking book, dude. That is, for me, that's the book. Like that's the book that's one of the books I would want to do, you know, because I'm trying to build out my own universe, you know, and it's like that's the one that hasn't been tapped really, bro. Like Germania, you know, and Kreisgau, like he's talks about it a little bit too, or Kreisgau. The one that comes close to it that was epic was Slain by Bisley, you know, and that made their mark. You know what I mean?
Bro, the story that I have done in my head for how Thor dies and how all that transpires with Jormungandr is just like,
yeah, right.
Fuck, like it's, and then I have, basically it's like Loki, but just the building of the religion relationship. It's not religion, but those ideological things going on at the time, you know, like
he always got so much shit he wants to say, and there's like 1,000 fucking things coming in his head right now. I know how J Dollar thinks. He's got so many ideas in his head and so many storylines. This fool's fucking thinking about 1,000 things at once, man. I can't wait till this fucking book comes out, and you have to put it out. You have to do it.
I think it'll happen.
You know? And it'll never be like, there'll never be Alex Ross drawing it and fucking, you know, John Byrne or fucking Grant Morrison or Alan Moore writing it. It's gonna be you writing it, and it's gonna be another dude, and it has to come out. You know what I mean? It has to. Otherwise, it will not come out, and it'll just be locked away. Do you know what I mean? It's fucked up, and it sucks because I look at it the same way. I look at my book too. I'm like, fuck, I want to go back and redraw the whole book in this other style that I've gotten. But no, it's not gonna. No, you're gonna put that out, Matt Burke, and you're gonna. That's how it's gonna be. But if the story is sound, it's all that fucking matters, J Dollar. You know, and that's one thing. Current year me, I don't like speaking in the third person, but current year Matt Burke, the writing is the most important thing, and so is the story. Yeah. And I'm an artist, and I'm all about art. Fuck everything else. But at the end of the day, people are going to come back and they're going to look at the story and the writing. You know what I mean? The art's going to sell it, but the story's going to come back. The story's going to bring people back for issue 2 or book 2 or whatnot. You know, and it's going to immortalize. You know, it's going to make people fucking relate to it and cry and fucking feel for it. You know what I mean?
I want the way I approach it to be looked at it like the way Brandon from Incubus writes his music. It's up for the it's up for the interpretation of the individual who has lived experiences at said time. And when they read it, they can, something in there will give you like a member berry or like a like it will satisfy an idea of like fantasy, I suppose. But
that's cool. Like Will Howard or something, or Tolkien kind of. I mean,
yeah, like religiosity is buried in it. It's not religious, but like that is like a trope that will be used, MacGuffin-esque type scenarios, but not necessarily. Because I want to so I've been doing a lot of studying on the Japanese way of storytelling, and I completely did my cyberpunk story from the Japanese storytelling way, and I think that was more attractive. You know, and then thinking about like how I did that story, like I couldn't really do that story with Torah per se. One, because I've already envisioned everything, and two, it wouldn't really fit with like it wouldn't fit. It just wouldn't work. So I want to do that like a trade paperback worth of stories for the main book, which is essentially 3 arcs, but in those 3 arcs you have your steady stories because they're individual, but they all coalesce. But the whole prologue type of thing and the epilogue type of thing, I thought of it only as like a prologue, but then I started thinking like, well, it's really not healthy, especially because you watch like Star Wars doing their type of prologue story type of thing, and honestly, it's been used and abused, and it's usually not done correctly. So the way I thought about it is, it would be cool to have like 17 to 21 page stories for like Babe and the experience that she goes through and how she meets Bonecutter and Breakspear. And then you'll have a prologue-esque story, like how Michael connects with Maya and Death. And then you'll have the Egyptian arc, which is how the Emerald Lord, or El, it's like these, like my brain has already done it all.
Yeah, I got it all.
And then so then you're like stuck, like, well, where is the first story? And I guess you really can't do it that way. That's why I said the way I thought about the way the cyberpunk story is, and the way I've designed that, like these are two different types of two separate different types of storytelling.
Right. Right.
You're definitely going to have that Edda flow you know, like the Rig Veda and all that. It's basically like a poetic religiosity to storytelling back then. It's not going to be music or anything like that, but like you have to have read like the Avestan,
all those beats,
Rig Veda, and
yeah.
Some of the early Zoroastrian books and the Mani books and things like that, because the way they do their storytelling is completely different than even the Europeans and the Arabs did it.
And Snorri, like Sturluson with his prose, I think.
Yeah, and then so, you know, because Thor and all that is in the poetic Eddas. So, but I murder Thor right off the fucking bat. And I kind of like want that to be the first story.
That's cool. And you gotta find the heart too in each story.
Oh, but I feel like that one.
You had to rip someone's heart out in the first story, the reader.
It's 17, 20 pages. I think I can fucking
just remember that, man. Like you could kill him, but just remember, like when the reader leaves,
they have
to be ripped out.
I have been dreaming in my head the last page or two of when Jormungandr has essentially murdered Thor, and the in just this double page spread of having Wodeness here and Death here, and then having the obliterated Jormungandr and a murdered Thor, and all that's left on the ground is the hammer, and then Death picks up his hammer. It's just like, dog, like you have. I will ruin all of your religious stories.
So, like my book that I'm working on, Hell War, you're gonna get your Jormungandr, but it's in the 90s. So, but my stuff's very kind of comic booky. It's different than yours. Yours is more serious, you know, in some ways. Yeah. Like mine's serious too, but it kind of comes in like that real quick. You know what I mean? Like you're having a good time and like drinking beers, fucking chopping heads off, and then out of nowhere, boom! Like that's the way I want to do it, you know. But like there's a village in there, like the so it's in the 90s, and it's similar to the way like our world is now. But imagine if the Norse gods, right? All that shit in Ragnarok, it actually happened. So if you go over So if you go over to Norway in the 90s, like in my story, imagine Jormungandr's corpse just lying all over the mountains in Norway. You can go there, his bones are there. His whole spinal column is just lying there. And there's a fucking village of like black metal elves living in there. You know what I mean? And they're there to maybe take over some shit. Does that make sense? And then I got my character, Hell War, and his little brother that he just freed from Helheim. He's on his last mission. He just got his brother out. He's been in Helheim for 1,000 years, you know, and they got some shit to do because there might be a new world serpent that's trying to take over. And that's kind of where you know it's the one story, but it's in and out, and it's a one story. It's about trying to get your brother out of some shit. He's been in there for 1,000 years, and you're a bounty hunter working for Hell Nora. That's my hell, you know, and Helheim exists. And can you be the brother? Can you be the big brother for him? And can you get the job and finish it, you know, and save the world and the cosmos on your last day? You know, I think Robert Duvall in Falling Down, it's his last day on the job. That for me, that was a big influence for me, that movie and his character, you know, and that's how my character Hell War is kind of navigating that. And he's been around for a long time, and he's got a few different names, you know, and it's just crazy seeing it because my shit's more kind of Kirby. Kind of Jack Kirby, kind of feeling like, you know, that type of shit. When I think of your stuff, it's even more serious, you know.
Yeah,
like I'm imagining like the Northmen, you know. I remember when you're showing me a lot of the stuff we were talking about in the DMs prior to the Northmen, and I just remember the Northmen coming out and being like, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah, I didn't really like it per se. Yeah,
a lot of people didn't like it. I'm surprised you didn't like it. You know, you didn't like. Okay, you didn't like it. Death Metal Hero didn't like it. Joe Ball didn't like it. Like a lot of dudes in our scene didn't like it. I thought like everybody would have loved it because it's so like fucking. It's the closest Viking movie you're gonna get. Like why didn't you like it?
So I've read countless books on the traditions in the daily lives of pagan paganistic people, hillsmen of the East. And so, like, you know, you have like Tom Rousel and a bunch of other guys today who are saying like you should pray to Woden or Thor and things like that. But the way I understand it and the way I look at it, the only time you would call on Thor or Woden's or any of those people, Freya, are in times of need and extreme measures. So, like, there was a Scandinavian tradition that used to go around. If you had bad crops, there would be a wooden idol that you would be able to take from each crop to crop, and you would be able to abuse that wooden idol. And after you abuse that wooden idol, it's kind of like a confession, so to speak. You would take that wooden idol, and that wooden idol will go to another field that was being cultivated that had a shitty yield the year before, or has been known to have problems, things like that. So the way you called upon what we call the heavens today was extremely the amount of times the people did it were low, and the cultures like the Wodenist tribes, because remember the Woden tribes came from the northern plains of the Swiss Alps going into Germany and all the rivers that spread out. And there was a specific tribe there. Some people say that the actual tribesman of Odin was a person that existed.
Right.
But it was actually a small number of people in a very small locale, and like the battle axe culture from like Sweden and Norway and things like that. They didn't know this Odinistic figure until many generations later, because they had their own people that they would venerate or pray to during specific times like that. So when I watched The Northman, the Scandinavians were clean, bro. They had the nicest clothes. They traveled with brushes and clippers. Their horses were clean. All that muddy, this muddy idea that these films put on my descendants and your descendants is not real. And the amount of people who would have known these practices would have been super duper small, very small number of people. Like when an example, when the Crusades were over and the Vatican Church dismantled the Crusaders, you had the Teutonic Order start to blossom in the northern regions, which is today Poland, and it wrapped itself all the way up to Finland. There are early religious figures who were able to find these certain druid leaders, and they were able to find the secret halls, and these secret halls had all the booty that every warrior had ever taken in these halls. Even the warriors who took these booties were never even allowed in these temples unless you were a chieftain or a chieftain's son or a druid son being trained and things like that. And somehow the Catholics made their way in there, and these halls, which had more gold and plunder than you could imagine, were plundered themselves. And so that clan that was usurped by like the Teutonics and all those people were so small in number that you could never truly understand what their true rituals were, and they were never written down in their true facts, and there was never any information that's been given, because one, all the documentation has been destroyed, and two, all of the information that we got about these rituals and all that were written by the church, not by our people. And so you do get data like Bede, Bede from England, the Venerable Bede. He actually did a decent job, and he gave justice to the cultures that were in England that still practiced the old traditions. And even then, Bede, even though he got to see these public traditions, he was never invited to the actual rituals of the Brotherhood because he was not allowed.
He wasn't allowed.
And so like, there's no possible way to get the truth.
Right.
And I will never. What I've read and the way I understand it, like there was never a fire. There was never people around a fire. There was never like people dancing around the fire. That's not how it went. It was actually like a parade.
For what, the Uferdner?
For this Odinistic rituals. Okay. So these rituals back in the day, especially when you become a boy and you transfer to a man, you get kicked out of the tribe. You're supposed to spend 14 months, X amount of months out, and you come back with all your glory, and then you could be accepted into the tribe, or you stayed away forever and you made your own tribe. So the religious philosophy of the time is carved in stone in the Celtic regions, in Ireland and Britain and stuff like that, especially around the areas that have all the circles. There is actual carvings of men doing processions with their crazy ass hats, those big ass metal hats.
Yeah.
And then you have the black cloaked men. So you had the Druid leadership, which had the crazy ass hats. Yeah. Then you had the black cloaked men, and then you had the dancers. And then after that, you would have the procession march of the men or the gentlemen or whatever your small community had at the time, and it was like almost African-esque in terms of how the chieftain would sit, and this stuff would be done outside, not in the rain, not in the rain. You would not do these rituals in the rain, and they do not show in a depicting of their carvings or the information that's out there from like the Venerable Bede and the other gentlemen, the other gentlemen's throughout the Germanic era, coming from like going into the Holy Roman Empire, like when all of our Celtic people were slaughtered by Rome. My tribe, my R1B1 tribe, painted themselves. We had metal out the fucking yin yang, torques out the yin yang, headpieces out the yin yang, huge fucking trombone, fucking dragon head things. And that was completely and utterly different than the Germanic tribe of the Southern Alps that became the Oats. And none of those.
It's all pre-ice age.
Yeah, none of those things transpire, other than some poems that were written by men who got to sat down and see these things.
So what did you like about the movie though? Like, what was the main thing you didn't like about the movie though?
So it's not historically correct in terms of how
filthy. It's based off of Amleth. You know it's based off of Amleth, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not like we weren't filthy people. It wasn't muddy like that, and we didn't just wear like wolf things around our fucking dick, and we like jumped off like things with axes and slammed axes into people. That stuff did not happen. Like the way all of
you think it could have happened?
No, it was much cleaner. It was clean. It was clean. Battle fighting back then,
raids like that, like because you don't think that could have happened theoretically, and it's a movie too. I mean, there's a little bit of sword and sorcery in there too. I mean, obviously it's not going to be 100%. You know, like there's a lot of trips in there. There's lots of hallucinogenics. Like I think that was like Joe Ball's big thing. That's why he didn't like all that hallucinogenic shit. He thought that was everybody has different reasons why they didn't like it. You know?
Hallucinogenic stuff is actually true.
Yeah, it is. And they had archaeologists on the set the whole time. All of his movies are like that. Even Nosferatu. That's why I love Edgar shit and The Witch. I don't know if you saw The Witch. All of his movies are like that. You know, he brings the dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, and like, you look at Vikings. That's totally like bastardized, like the show Vikings. You know.
That's horrible. It's the worst thing.
For me,
ever.
It was more like our generation's Conan, the Northman. You know, and for me, I figured like obviously they didn't get a lot of shit right, but I feel like they tipped their hat to a lot of shit. Like obviously, like like the symbol with the dude with the helmet. You know, they put him in the movie. It's an icon like from that artifact. You know what I mean? There's just little things. The lady that they found, the one shield maiden chieftain that they buried in the massive like field of kings that's over in Sweden. You know. The one lady that was a ruler, because there's only one lady that did it. They put her in the movie, the one warrior lady, you know, and she's sailing the boat in the beginning when they're doing that long technical shot, and then they turn right. Then you see her again when they invade the village, and they're doing again another long technical shot. She's like, motherfucker, she's riding on her horse, you know. So they're just like they're kind of member berries for historians in some ways, but it doesn't make sense. But there's certain things that kind of do make sense in some ways. So there's a lot of
the Barbarians, the Barbarian show, that takes place, or not the show, the movie, that takes place in the Carpathian Mountains. So it's the north of the Carpathian Mountains. It's the Carpathian Valley. So Georgia is here. You have the Carpathian Mountains and Georgia and all that, and then you have the Black Sea and the Caucasus Sea right here, and then those mountains, they go into the plains and they go into the steppe of Ukraine. From that steppe to the Caucasus Mountains, aka Gog and Magog, that's where barbarians are from. That's the barbarian culture.
The word. Yeah, the actual word.
If you look at all their graves, if you look at all of their burial mounds, none of them dressed like Conan the Barbarian.
Oh fuck no. Well, I mean, Conan is from a different era. He's before that. That's a whole different. Topic.
This is so going. So even because remember, essentially, the barbarians came from Noah's tribe when Noah left the Silk Road route from Anatolia to Egypt. He was crazy. His sons were crazy, so he got kicked out, and he took his flock with him, and his flock was his church. And he went to the Carpathian Mountains, and that's where sheep shearing and sheep domestication started. And that's the barbarian culture, which controlled the gates of Gog and Magog, which is the Caucasus Mountains.
Some fucking scary mountains too. Those metal-ass mountains, bro.
That's
where Dracula's from.
That's where fucking those were the true barbarians, and no one ever picks them. The way they dress, the way their burial is.
No, that's a whole other story that's never been told. That'd be fucking. Well, the thing is with Howard, he was making his own world that had evolution and de-evolution. You know, so if you look at, I mean, you know about that, right? Like the 3 different ages he wrote about, his 3 ages. You had the Thurian age, and then you had the Hyborian age. And Thurian age was the age of cold Atlanteans. Then you jump ahead, like I think it's like almost 1 million years, or close to. It's like almost 1 million years, bro. It might as well be. Then you jump into Conan's era, you know, and then you jump into our age, which there's Solomon Kane and Brad McMorn. And Brad McMorn is a descendant. Dude, it's fucking nuts because they go through de-evolutions and all kinds of crazy shit, you know. And it's just his take on history, you know, which is not. It's just his take, you know. And then he had another guy that he was inspired by, another fictional historian kind of cat, you know, that he was inspired by. But I just think it's brilliant how that the Sumerians, they were once Atlanteans and they de-evolved into cavemen, into Neanderthals, and then evolved again into Sumerians. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if I'm wording this wrong, but that's what happens in there. Even if you go check out the Conan YouTube channel, they talk about it a lot because they're really. And I was just like, oh my god, that's fucking brilliant. You know, like they go through, they're at the top of their game, and then they fucking de-evolve into Neanderthals, the Sumerians, because Cole is his great times a million grandpa or Conan's grandpa. You know, it's the same.
Yeah.
And so they de-evolve and then they re-evolve again into the Sumerians, and they're basically like kind of Germans in a way. I mean, in his world, in Howard's world, in Howard's fictional fantasy that is fantasy. You know what I mean? And I fucking love it, dude. Like that's what I want to make, but it's been done already. But your shit
ain't no one done much.
Your shit is fucking so it's like Howard, but it's even more like historically based, even more so. So it'd be like if Howard was around now and he got more intel and he's like, all right, fuck that. I'm going to rewrite the way I do. I'm going to see things, you know, because if you look at the map of Hyperborea, it looks during the Hyperborean age, it looks like Pangea, you know, you see Africa on the left side and stuff. And, you know, and I'm going to start I'm working it right now. I'm working on building my own fantasy world, if it will.
Yeah. You should help me with my map building. Cause I want to have, because Ragnarok happens in my story, but it's like I am stealing shamelessly from all of like Tiamat's going to be in this bitch.
That's awesome. Well, dude, you know what happened to me? I have to cut you off. It's because I've been so deep into fucking like Norse mythology and stuff like that, and I'm looking at Howard, right? I'm looking at Edgar Rice Burroughs. I'm looking at Tolkien. I'm like, I don't fucking own nothing. I want my own shit. I want my own fucking planet. I'm looking at John Carter, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take deep influences and I'm gonna fucking tweak it. I mean, if there's a werewolf, then I'm gonna fucking take little designs of a were and a fucking of a wolf and a lion and a bear.
Remember that
my own shit, because then it's mine and I'm tied to it. It's my name. You know what I mean? And I don't know, dude. I kind of feel that way. Like there was a part of me that wanted to do things more so people could relate to his story, history. You know what I mean? And I love Norse mythology; it's my favorite. But at the same time, when I die, I want to have like my own. I want to have my own John Carter. I want to have my own Conan verse.
I want to go. I want.
You see what I'm saying?
My name. I want my name to be in the Library of Congress.
Exactly, dude. And it's like I don't want anything on Earth. I don't want any of my shit to be earthly anymore. I want it to derive from that. But I'm going to think of things that I love in history and fantasy and things like that, and I'm going to fucking spin it to where it's Matt Burke's, you know. And then I'm going to write stories. And I'm going to write stories. I'm going to take all the shit I like, all the monsters and histories and Viking shit and barbarian shit and whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to create my worlds and my characters and my tribes and my cities and whatnot. Then I'm going to try to look and see if I could come up with some good stories that I'm going to tell. They're going to rip people's hearts out and make them cry and relate to them. And then when I die, I can leave that. That like, oh, that's and I woke up that dawned on me, Jay, like the last month.
Yeah. So specifically like for me, for Babe, it's kind of crazy, but I was watching The Wizard of Oz at my friend Steven's house, and I'm talking about rape here, and it was Steven's stepdad's birthday, and the dad ended up raping Steven's sister.
Whoa!
And we were all there in the living room watching The Wizard of Oz.
Wow, that's.
And I still remember him coming out of the bedroom crawling, and he only had a shirt on. His fucking ass is hanging out, his dick is hanging, and I remember jumping over him and running out of the house. That's going to be one of the opening story plots for Babe. That experience?
That's fucking scary, man. That's almost like a coping mechanism channeled through your writing, dude, to get over the
but she ends up obliterating and murdering all of her family and the entire tribe because
of what happened. Right. Yeah. And that, you know, the score needs to be settled at that point, you know, and those weak links in the family, you know, they need to be, they're the rotting branches of the tree, and for the betterment of the tree, the rotten branches need to be severed from the tree so the tree can flourish, you know?
And that's how Bonecutter
fuck those motherfuckers, you know.
And that's how Bonecutter and Breakspear end up finding Babe, is because of her Legion. You know, Legion from Marvel, fucking woo. Stryker's son, who's psychopath.
Yeah.
You know who Legion is? Do you ever watch the Legion TV show?
I mean, they put him in the movie too, X-Men 2, I think.
Horrible.
But he wasn't done like really like that good.
But Legion is his brain has been fucked with so much by his dad that he's just like insane.
So fucked up.
That's a good premise I put in there.
So there's brutal, a couple, like, you know, when like the people you trust, you know, like that's so
that's definitely in there, and I want that to be the first 2 pages, and nothing gory or graphic, but the obviousness will be there. And
no, there's a lot you could do with just, you know, kind of showing a couple things. There was a story, a war party, like there was some fucked up shit that happened in there too, you know. I don't think it was like that, but in the beginning, it grabbed me by the throat. Speaking with people in our Professor Murph, remember that guy? He had a book called War Party, where they put on the pelts and they turned into werebeasts during the French Indian War. Dude, you'd fucking love that. And homeboy made the book, right? And he's been putting out the books, like mailing them to people, spending money on mailing, you know, putting out. So he's got one more issue left, and they're all floppies. You will love it. You will love it. It's like Last of the Mohicans meets The Howling, but just really done correctly. I had him on the show here. I got to have him on again. He's a real Renaissance artist like Preston. You know, I'm trying to be a Renaissance man artist too. You know, I recommend everybody should do that. That's the only way you could really grow as an artist. You know, it's just hard finding the time to kind of do it, but you need to do it. For me, I don't paint. I never painted really. I painted with my fingers when I was like in first grade. But my end game for this year is to learn how to paint. You know, once I do that, man, that's like that's my jam, dude. You know,
do you know
music and stuff like that, and you know, like just do as many different forms of art as you could do.
Yeah,
you're creative, bro. You haven't really done it. And a lot of people I think most humans are just artists. Like 99% of people are artists, but they don't really fuck with it too much. But then you have the straight up people that are creators that can do all art. You know what I mean? They don't act on it too much, but they can fuck with it. You're a creator. You could do art. You're like, you just don't really like put your art out there too much. You know?
Yeah.
Like from the get.
My problem is like, you know, so it takes no time to make a decision, but it can take an eternity to act on that decision.
That's the problem, though.
And I'm a procrastinator in chief.
You have to. You could die tonight. You could die right now. Your heart could stop. And you have to make your books, and they're not going to be perfect ever. They'll never be perfect. Even when they're perfect, they won't be perfect. And the artist will never be perfect. Your writing will never be perfect, and you have to live with that, dude. And you just have to say,
I'm not worried about that.
You got to charge into battle with your art. You know. You got to stay with that.
My problem for the last 3 years has been financials, and it has really been annoying. Like when the AC broke in the house, that's an extra $300 a month. So our power bill with the AC is $525 a month, $485 a month.
That's a lot. And then even, I live in California. That's more than what I pay.
Our power bill is like $185 to $225. But we got
everything, right?
Yeah, but we also got the AC unit for the house. No. And here in Alabama, you can we added the AC bill to the power bill. So we funded the AC through the power company. Well, it's not, it's through the company. It's difficult. I don't know how to explain it.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
But anyway, that money is tacked onto the power bill. So every month,
utilities,
our power bill, $500 a month.
Oh, utilities. That's a lot of shit. Yeah. 500 is a lot. I think my dude, I'm getting credits now though. Cause I like every year we get California credits. You know what I mean? Like my gas bill is like fucking $15. my electricity when it's summer, I crank that fucker up. My air conditioner, it's usually like 150. Right now it's $30, but during the summer it gets hot, it goes up to 150 to like 175. So I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm not sitting and eating no more, motherfucker. I'll crank that up. I'm down to work overtime. I don't care what. I'll pay more money during the summer. I don't like the heat. I'm just like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm supposed to be in the cold, motherfucker. so there's that. Electricity, yeah. So dude, it's cheap. The gas bill, again, yeah. I got a credit on the gas bill. I'm paying for a bunch of different like streaming services right now because I'm watching a bunch of shit. I got Netflix again. I stopped getting Netflix for a long time, for 5 years. I was always.
Well, I'll give you the 2 pirate sites, and you can just stream them. Like you don't even gotta.
But I like my big TV though, man. I like my watch.
You can if you can go to a browser on your TV, you can watch it on your TV.
Probably could. Or
you just hook your laptop up and just put your browser on the TV, and you can watch the whole film. But I pirate everything, and I have Amazon, Hulu, Disney. I have it all, but I still pirate everything.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Like I can give you a 1080p Thunderbolts right now. We can watch Thunderbolts after you're done.
Are you reading any? You're not. Are you reading any comics right now? Like anything new or old or collecting anything?
I have only been buying crypto the last couple of months. So I am. So like the last 6 months, it's been Palantir and Bitcoin. So stock and Bitcoin.
That's cool. Yeah, Bitcoin's going up and down. Yeah, it's crazy.
So hopefully this year I shall make. I mean, I always make good decisions on my trades, but hopefully this year will be better because don't forget, our car just broke down as well. So, and then my mom just got a new car as well. So it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I got a buddy, dude, a good friend of mine, and he does the trading like for full time. So he wakes up at like 2 a.m. and he works from like 2 to 12, and he goes back to sleep and he just sits there, click 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 click.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And he says it fucking exhausts him. Like he only works 5 or 6 hours, and it fucks him up so bad because he says he's just looking at the stocks and selling all the time, and then he goes right back to bed and he sleeps fucking for hours. It fucks him up because he's sitting there looking at all the stuff. I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay. And he does it for sport.
Yes, I mean,
because he don't even need the money. The motherfucker does it for sport, and I'm just like, damn, that fool. That's crazy,
Yeah, I've already lost like $6,000 or $8,000 this year, I think.
Yeah, well, you'll get it back. You'll get it back.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But I
it's just how it is, It comes and goes. You know what I mean?
I'm getting very, very good, and my emotional, the emotional travesty that used to hit my head when I would lose money is long gone now. And so, like on Zen this year, I lost I did not lose. However, I did not sell in time, so I did lose. Right. But on that trade, I lost like $4,800, but I didn't lose $4,800 because I didn't sell. I just bought more. I don't do New Year's resolutions, but this year I told myself that I would be less emotional when my charts hit where I want them to hit, and I will sell.
Oh, for sheesh.
And so my biggest problem the last 4 or 5 years is being emotionally caught up, thinking it's going to keep going. Oh, it's going to keep going. And then I get hurt. So it is what it is. Yeah. Rough. Rough. But yeah, did you leave? Okay. Yeah, my car, Howder, bro. My wife's Malibu, one of the piston rings on the V6, or a couple of the piston rings, whatever. One of them failed, so now oil is blowing past the piston and it's getting into the head. And then it was getting into the intake manifold, and so much oil was getting through the head into the intake manifold, it started to pour into the intake pipe. It's like $2,000 to even get that bitch fixed. So it's just been chilling on the side of the road for the last 6 months. It's been gay. Hella gay. See how much I've made today in Coinbase.
My car is dead. I need to buy a new one. Luckily, I have mine here.
You can buy my Malibu that's dead.
Oh, that sucks.
Sell it to you for $1,000.
I usually like to get like new cars and just kind of pay them off, and I never have to worry about shit. You know, luckily I've been lucky, but and unlucky in some ways because I've been getting in the wrecks because and it's not my fault. People crash into me just because I live in California, and it's horrible traffic out here, dude. People don't know how to fucking drive, and they're all like in a hurry for some bullshit. You know, it's hilarious.
Yeah, so this week on Coinbase, I've lost $127.
Damn, son. You got to start live streaming again, dude.
I don't know how to live stream and talk about things all the time. I definitely bookmark things and put it in the J Money Show folder. But then, like, the day will go by, I'm like, I don't really want to stream. And then that happens. So
just do it for an hour and then bounce out. Like for me, I have an hour worth of stuff lined up, but the show's 3 hours and 26 minutes right now. You know what I mean? It's just stuff that I just go with the flow. But I have 45 minutes of content lined up. But that's kind of hard, though. That's kind of hard. But you have to have stuff that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I always do. But you know, I don't know. Conspiratorial with a lot of my conversations, and for whatever reason YouTube always likes deleting my videos.
Yeah, they're like, fuck Jay Dollar, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know why. Like, I had one that was globally blocked in 8 nations, and I was like, what did I do? And all we were talking about was like DARPA and the VR goggles and a lot of stuff like that. And
well, the DARPA will do it. That's just like, you know, that's like the Black Ops Central, you know, like the deep state getting in there, you know.
But I'm not even. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it happens the way that it does. But
what's up, Dave?
Yeah,
got a new channel now, man. It's just Bat Merc, Metal Cartoonist. I changed my channel name tonight. I think I told you that earlier, but.
Yeah, I want to chat with you about my cyberpunk shit. I want to.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, and you just got to get it out. I mean, it's hard though too. Like the hard part is like getting the artist and getting him on page, and just make sure when you get the artist, you only pay him for 3 pages.
I think with my cyberpunk story, I want to do a short story, couple 100 pages.
Short story, a couple 100 pages.
Yeah. and then maybe try to do like, you ever seen like Mega City 909?
No. What's that?
Pull it up real quick on a browser and then hit images and share it real quick. Mega City 909.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right, yeah. So I had a crazy dream because I was reorganizing some of my comic books, and I was adding them to because I inventory all my comic books on comics. What is it called? Comic Book Realm.
Mm-hmm.
I cataloged all my shit, and I was going over them, and for whatever reason, I had a dream, and it was about Mega City 909, but it was my dream. And if you look at some interiors, one, I don't understand how you don't use dark mode. That's one thing. And two, the this book is kind of based around like aliens attacking a cyberpunk story. Mine is nothing like that, but visually, especially if you look at the interiors and things like that, that's like where my mind is. But it's basically like Metal Gear Solid 4, Neuromancer, Mega City 909, Appleseed, and and James Tooney.
What about Judge Dredd? No Judge Dredd?
No, I don't want any Judge Dreddism in here.
Okay.
And I've got 9 chapters in a prologue already.
That's
all the character names. I got got my pros for every chapter lined out. And then I've had a few dreams recently, and
big pictures of this, but it's kind of hard.
Well, yeah, I don't know why it keeps bringing up little tiny. Just scroll down and click on some other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the interior. The interiors are the shit, dude. I fucking love the interior.
I can jump on that.
But like, so I'll read. So I watched shit out of YouTube is my life, I guess. But I was watching a video on Antarctica.
And you should be talking about that and this on your channel. You should be talking about Mega City. Sorry to do this, but this shit's fucking cool. People will like this. You know what I mean? This is nerd shit. You know, you got your real shit that you're fucking like all that, like a lot of the economy stuff, deep state economy things that you're talking about. Historical stuff is really cool too.
But also,
this stuff people like your cyberpunk. You should really lean into the cyberpunk stuff for your channel. Okay, people are gonna dig that. Cover Judge Dredd a little bit too because it's big, and this too, and just chop up like fucking 10 things a week, and try to make them 10 minutes long each thing. You know,
you're gonna have to like stay on. Getting me to do anything on schedule. It's
easy, dude. If I could do it, you could do it.
I am a black sheep. But anyway, so I was watching the thing about Antarctica and all that, and
the wall.
So this is what I added to part of the prologue. So by 2048, the Antarctic Treaty had ended, and 550 barrels of oil were up for grabs. What was left of any country put all efforts to extract the oil, collapsing the entire country in the process. The Han-Manchu United Front and the alliance with London, after destroyed what was left of the Chile-Argentinian alliance, took over Antarctica.
Damn.
And so that was just some shit I wrote down from my dream. Well, I watched the video, I took a nap, and then I had an idea, and I'm like, write that bitch down. So
you have to, man. You gotta write that shit down. Like,
and then I added
especially that time in the morning, your brain is adapt. Like you're talking about the cock going, you know what I mean? The rooster. You wake up in the morning, you go back to sleep. When you go back to sleep at like 7 in the morning, your brain's very active. So that active time at 7 a.m. in the morning, and you're dreaming during that active time. That's why you're having those active dreams, because it's that early in the morning, you know?
Well, it's so, yeah, it's vivid and lucid dreaming is easier to acquire after you've already gone through your sleep from the night before. And like, say, for example, you wake up and take a piss, or you do whatever it is that you need to do. If you are able to lay back in the bed and fall asleep, especially on your back,
you
can trigger lucid dreaming easier that way.
No, that makes sense.
Laying on your side, lucid dreaming is harder on your side, but practicing to get in the, because it, like, you know, controlling your lucid dreaming without waking up or startling yourself is very hard. As soon as you open your eye or you consciously move your body when you know you're dreaming, you snap that lucid dreaming because you're consciously awake now.
Yeah.
So because I used to sell beds, I used to sell sleep, and so I figured out lucid dreaming about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and like I had like this crazy ass violent dream once. I was on a soccer field, everybody was losing their arms and their legs and shit. It was so fucking violent.
Oh
and
man,
it was so real. And then I woke up. I'm like, what the fuck? It's one of the first lucid
I don't even
dreams.
dream anymore. I don't even dream anymore. Like I haven't dreamed in like 10 years.
That's because you're exhausted.
Really? That's what
you
I
don't
hear.
dream. You are exhausted.
Like I haven't dreamed in 10 years. And usually I go to bed and then I just wake right up. Like I sleep probably like 4 to 6 hours a day.
Fuck
last night I slept 3 hours. My kid woke me. I slept 1 hour. My kid woke me up to kill a spider. Spider wasn't there. Went back to bed. Slept 4 hours. So I slept like almost 5 hours because that whole waking me up and you know that shit fucked me up. You know what I mean? It wasn't like bomb sleep or nothing. You know. But I'm at the point, and I've been at the point for 10 years where I can just sleep standing up at a given time if I want to. You know, it fucked me up, man. I think it really aged me a lot too. Believe it or not, like just lack of sleep. You know, it's crazy.
So yeah, a lack of sleep builds plaque in your brain, and that plaque aids and abet the aggression of Alzheimer's.
Damn.
And, yeah. So the human body should get 2 REM cycles a night, and the average human to get a full REM cycle is 3 to 5 hours. So usually when people sleep 6 to 10 hours, you can get 2 REM cycles. And that's when your body is its hottest when you're sleeping. Like, have you ever woke up out of a sleep and you're completely sweating?
Yeah.
So if you've ever woken up and your body is completely wet, you've woken up in the middle of your rapid eye movement sleep, your REM sleep. That is in that process. When you're in rapid eye movement, that is the only time when that chemical is released in your brain that flushes out all that plaque debris from your daily activity.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm always running hot though. Like I sweat all the time. Like my mom and my dad, they ran hot all the time too. My dad would wear shorts in the winter. You know, it's just like always sweating and shit. But that might have something to do with that.
That's probably like dehydration and bad vitamin D, more than likely.
That
like
makes sense. I don't get any vitamin D at all. I've not.
Yeah, especially like men who bald, who have head sweats, and men who have a lot of lip sweat. That is low vitamin D.
Damn. It's crazy, all these little ticks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Bro, I was a master at selling beds, dog. I can sell.
Dude, bed is like you can't fuck with the mattress, man. You got to get a good mattress. You know what I mean?
My bed is like $12,000.
Let's see here. I find it super hard to fall asleep lying on my back, but I remember my dreams when I do.
Yeah, my bed has diamonds in it.
It's like diamonds. I always fall on I always do the, obviously the fetal position. I'm just like,
I sleep like this. That's why my fucking right shoulder always hurts, because I'm like this.
I can fall asleep. I fall asleep just like instantly, dude. I fall asleep like I just start breathing like, and I just like boom, I'm out. Like in a couple seconds, I do my prayers and then boom, I'm out. That's it. But I'm probably gonna end it right now.
That's cool. Let's chat in back a little bit for a few minutes.
Chat for a few minutes. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I really appreciate it. Halder, everyone, the 3 people watching. There's been people watching this whole time. Thanks for hanging out with my channel name change. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming out and partying with us tonight. As always, thanks for watching. And you guys always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones, snowy roll. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, Jay.
The cold steel entering my body from all sides. I awaken from a cocoon inside a skeletal void.